Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Academy Gaming Weekly number 22. I'm Storm, and back with me for today's tournament is Hurix. How are you doing tonight, man?
Good, man. Really good. Got some good teams this week, and excited as always to get this thing going, man.
Yeah, we've got a lot of good teams this week. That bottom half of the bracket, pretty stacked. Our first match will be Bird Noises up against Your Name Here. Your Name Here, pretty sure they're a pretty new team, given the fact they don't really have a team name. That's what they told me, just kind of undecided right now. But a lot of good players coming from a lot of good teams in the past, so really looking forward to this first matchup. But before we actually get into it, as always, you guys can donate $1 to the prize pool for free using the coupon code AGOW22. Type !Matcherino in Twitch chat to go ahead and do that. We do have plenty of coupons still available. I also have a little bit of a thing to ask if anybody in chat has ideas or anything like that. Matcherino allows for some sort of a reward kind of thing. So if anybody can come up with any rewards that somehow I can give you, whether that be shoutouts on streams or something like that, for donations to Matcherino, feel free to hit me up with that. Not really sure how I'm going to implement that into the Matcherino just yet, but it's just an idea to kind of get out there. Other than that, not a whole lot to talk about before this first match. This is going to be the round of 8, which means we don't have OW draft. It is going to be a set map rotation. Hollywood to Numbani over to Dorado. What are you thinking about this first matchup, Hurix?
This is one that I'm actually pretty interested in because this is one that, I mean, in the past weeks, this could have potentially been a final. I mean, these two teams are really, really solid. I remember Rob420 playing back in the day with Work in Progress, actually, in some of these AGs as well. And Your Name Here has a completely stacked roster. Jur from, I believe, Immortals. We've seen Sledge Mama before, going to be on the tank. Wolf, of course, from NG Red fame, going to actually trialed for H2K as well as Cloud9. Going to be playing with these guys as well. And Spo, an incredible Zenyatta player as well. So I expect a lot of great things from, I mean, actually both sides here. And I mean, this is just another really stacked game. And we're only in the round of 8. This is our first stream match of the day.
Yeah, this should be a pretty solid match. We are actually ready to get into the action. We got both teams good to go here on Hollywood as we're about to hit this game. I'm really looking forward to this one. We've seen Bird Noises in the past. They've got the 3 seed, Your Name Here, with that 6 seed. And honestly, either team could really take this match, if we're being honest, as we head into this one on Hollywood. I'm not sure what to expect from either team because Your Name Here did lose a game in their round of 16 matchup. Kind of unexpected, as it wasn't a team that we were either of us were really familiar with whatsoever. So the fact they lost a game there, a little surprising. Bird Noise making it through with an easy 2-0 here to the round of 8, so not a whole lot of problems in their path. But winner of this, moving on into the semifinals, and this is a best of 3 once again. But really looking forward to what we're going to be having in this first game. Take a look here. It's going to be, of course, Bird Noises on defense right away. And they're going to be bringing out Super on the Torbjorn, maybe? I'd be really interested to see if he wants to actually break this out here. As I think he might. Oh, you're good.
Seriously doubt that for some reason, but it does look like they are setting it up. Still 30 seconds to run back. Yeah, he's running it back.
I was thinking maybe we could see something like that. But very, very doubtful indeed. But other than that, not a whole lot of interesting picks. But on the offense, maybe Spill bringing out the Hanzo. Potentially Decop with a Widowmaker as well. I mean, what are you expecting? You know some of these players from both teams. You've seen Bird Noises now from last week, if I'm not mistaken. Who are you picking in this matchup here?
Oh man, it's gonna be tough to call. At this stage, I'm probably gonna be sticking with Your Name Here, just completely off of a gut reaction. We haven't seen both of these teams play quite yet. I mean, have seen a lot of roster changes between these two teams, so I don't know. I'm just gonna say Your Team Here, or Your Name Here, just gut check, you know.
Spo making the swap over to the Ana, and right away we're gonna be seeing them make a push in, and they're gonna be pretty aggressive here on the defense. Nice hook coming through there from Ball, able to find a pick. Goliath picks up Decop's kill, and they're gonna force him back here, and not having that Zarya moving. Another pick coming right through there onto the Reinhardt. They get the boop up there, if I'm not mistaken, from Train, and they're going to find themselves with 2 picks there.
Yeah, they're going to have to now wait for that respawn there on Sledge Mama. Right now, if you look at the ultimates, neither team really getting too high here. Both Anna's not quite hitting that 70% mark, so we're probably going to have to see another drive push here coming from the attacking side, which lead to much, but still 3 minutes left on the clock.
Plenty of time to work with. Rob a little closer to having that charge up. As Bo gets closer and closer. The pick coming through from both Roadhogs there. As Vol picks up the kill on the Teenage, follows up with the kill on the Sledge Mama. Both tanks are down now. And Bird Noise is looking pretty solid here on the defense. They're actually going to power up Jake. And Jake, I don't know, that wasn't necessarily a 100% needed.
You don't want to see that happen, because now with Rob pulling that out, they're going to be down that ultimate. They are pretty close here to having 2 control ults as well as Jake having his. They are getting ready to get about 5 ult stack going, but look at the attacking side. And if you're equal on the ult charge, both on attack and defense, then if you're equal, the defensive side is at a loss here because the attacking side controls when to engage. So
Jake actually coming through there with the Death Blossom, picks up a double kill in the process. The pin coming through from Super, not going to find a kill, but nonetheless, it's going to be 4 kills on the board there for Bird Noises, and fairly easy pickups there for them, despite not using that Ana ult. Didn't really lose anything throughout that fight, actually, if you're the offense, so they will have all those to move in with 2 minutes remaining on the clock here.
Yeah, the attacking side so far has been a little bit janky so far, but they do have Spo and Wolf charged up and ready to go to engage here, and they are going to be going ahead and using those ults and the support ult to go with it.
Super actually able to land his Earth Shatter right there under the charged up Wolf. Wolf didn't quite get taken down there, got shielded up by the Zarya, and that's going to be 3 kills coming out there on the board on the side of the offense, and it looks like they should be able to get this point given the fact they picked up the kill right there onto Goliath. Super isn't in the area, so we will see your name here actually picking up this first checkpoint.
Yeah, both teams, of course, using that triple tank setup there that we've seen quite often as of late, but the pick potential between both of these Roadhogs is absolutely amazing, and of course both of those ults coming in clutch when used as well. You know, of course, Vol getting a good one there on that second engage, and their Teenage lining that one up for his team to get through that first objective. And now we're seeing them actually go up high side as Vol actually lands the hook, not getting enough damage in to actually pick Teenage off, but this is actually a pretty heavy engagement already, and I mean they've just gotten it through the arches here.
Whole hog coming through there. Wolf able to take him down though before he's able to finish him off. He was on the edge of being taken down. 3 more kills coming through there for your name here, and Super gonna not actually hit anything with the charge, and he's gonna be taken down there by Teenage. So more kills coming in here on the board in favor of your name here, and they're pretty much cruising on forward after a few failed attempts on that first point A. Hook not quite connecting from Teenage, but they're gonna find, no, it doesn't look like they quite get the kill on the Rob. Rob got shielded up by Goliath. There's a Graviton Surge coming through there from Decop. Can they get anything off of it? Hook from Teenage. He's going to get put to sleep, though. He's going to be dropped as Jake comes through with the Death Blossom. Able to find a kill there, and Bird Noise is forcing him back, but Wolf on the backside able to pick up a kill on the Rob and looking for more, as it looks like Bird Noises should be able to calm the storm for the time being.
Oh, they need to be careful now as Wolf has gotten charged up. Actually, Super missing that Earth Shatter on the charged up Reaper. Still though, they are going to be finding both of those kills as they pull them, or push them rather, back towards their spawn. Close it up right in front of the bank here.
Bird Noise is able to make a stand after what looked like a pretty convincing push from your name here. Unfortunately for them, only 2:15 left to work with if you're the offense. This bend can be kind of difficult to get through, especially if ult, I mean, look at the ult charges. Pretty similar here for the most part, 3-3, as they are going to charge up Jake. Jake going in without Death Blossom. He's just going to get right onto Roadhog. Find the kill on the Teenage there. Looking for the Zarya. Actually going to go for Ana. Gets the headshot there on the Spell. Able to finish him off. Going to find a triple kill on the Decop. They find the kill on the Sledge Mama as well. And once again, Bird Noise is able to clean him up.
Yeah, so far Super has been handling Sledge Mama, and in that Reinhardt v Reinhardt battle, you really want to get control. Super has been doing a great job of doing that. Sledge Mama trying to get that Earthshot at the last second, but Super taking him out. Basically finish the job there. They both have those, and now 4 ults stacked up for the defensive side. They should be able to hold this one out, and it's going to come down to that last fight, or rather should come down to that last fight, unless we see Teenage get a couple of picks here.
Teenage making that swap over to the Widowmaker, looking for the early picks like you had just mentioned. They're going to go right onto the Hog, and he's looking for Ana in the back. Can he find anything? We actually see Jake coming through with another Death Blossom, picks up 2, finds a 3rd one onto Sledge Mama, and once again, Bird Noises making a stand, looking so good, and Jake, he's following up onto Jur. He wants to get rid of him. Not quite going to go overextending there, but nonetheless,
at this point, you really want to see those staggered kills, especially on guys like Spo, because now that he has his ult charged up, you want to take time off the clock because they don't want to engage now without Wolf being charged up here. They need that for their engagement. Look at the defensive side, though. Not really anything charged up quite yet. Rob Fortune should be able to get his pretty soon. Goliath might be able to if he gets really aggressive here, but aside from that, they don't really have anything to contend with the aggression from that duo.
What do you think about Teenage making the swap after dying right away over to the Hanzo from the Widowmaker?
Well, I do like the Hanzo a lot better than the Widowmaker, given what we know about that Zarya-Hanzo combo and the ability to just keep going between those two. But there we go. Spo is charged up. Wolf not actually going for the ult quite yet. And Teenage is taken out immediately once again here.
Questionable ult coming through there from Wolf. Not able to find anything. Was right in front of the Reinhardt shield. As we see, it looked like they're... Oh, man. It's going to be... kind of a back and forth fight for the most part. Jake picks up a couple kills. Wolf gonna be dropped there by Bull, but it looks like Bird Noise is gonna find the hook there. Picks off Spo, and it looks like Bird Noise is able to make the stand here. Very convincing hold from them on the defense.
Yeah, it didn't really seem like Teenage really got anything going for himself. I mean, making a ton of swaps, and it didn't seem like they were able to really kind of find that really nice spot where they were able to adapt and you know, kind of adjust to this. I did like the Hanzo. Personally, I kind of prefer that because given what we know about the triple tank setup, I mean, that Hanzo pick can be pretty strong if you can get some really nice pick damage in there and try to take out some of those backline. It'll take away from the ult charge that you get from the Ana, because as you get picks, there's obviously nothing for the Ana to heal if you get those kills. So it provides a little bit of intrinsic value in that way. But you know, aside from that, even you get the Zarya ult, and then you use the Dragon Strike, and it's going to cut through those tanks regardless, unless you have the support ult to back it up. But I mean, making the switch to the Widowmaker, not really sure about that one. You know, he was on Tracer to try to get to the point. He was on different... I mean, he was on Roadhog at the beginning. There was just a ton of changes. It didn't really seem like they were able to, like, control the ultimate economy because of that. They were always kind of down one guy. We are going to be seeing Jake, though, on the Hanzo now. And, of course, Teenage making, I believe, now his 4th hero and in one map here. And it's going to be Mei. He's going to be using for the defensive side. And I do like Mei for this point because of the fact that you can kind of isolate and control this archway and even security as well if they decide to make an adjustment and go through there. You definitely don't want to engage a Mei through security like that, because then you're just going to get, again, isolated, picked off by the team. And they have the damage to kind of back it up here with Wolf being on the Reaper. So they have to be really careful, especially guys like Vol, especially if they're not going to be using something like a Reinhardt either. And it looks like Super is actually on the Diva right now to make the attack.
Very curious to see if he actually sticks with the Diva, going with that triple tank. No, he's going to be making the swap over to the Reinhardt, pretty much expected. Still, nonetheless, taking the triple tank here, and we'll have to see if Wolf can kind of take advantage of that. And Jake on the Hanzo, really curious to see how he performs with it. Trying to shoot under the car right away here. Few composition swaps for both teams, and hopefully Teenage can find his stride with the Diva, or excuse me, with the Mei, because nothing was really panning out for him, especially there on offense, making a couple hero swaps. Really couldn't find the right pick.
Yeah, interesting that they're going aggressive right now. They are actually getting those kills, going all the way over towards those stairs, towards spawn, and now Goliath actually getting pretty low here, but it does have that 100% charge. Might be able to find a couple of quick picks. Maybe against this Ana if he just keeps getting... And Spo actually eliminated by Goliath. If Goliath can get out of this one and hold on to that charge, they're going to be in a pretty good spot to re-engage here.
That's certainly true. We just looked at Jake on the Hanzo. Really not able to get a whole lot of work done. Spent a little too much time with Spo and only got one hit. Didn't even manage to get the kill himself. But like you said, Goliath able to clean it up. But nonetheless, Hanzo only at 50% charge. Super having his ultimate up for him. A little surprising. The hook coming through there. Ball able to find a kill there. Earthshatter comes through as well from Super. They're going to be able to finish off the Reinhardt and pick up kill after kill here. Blizzard's out here for the defense, but Spo, the last one alive, and he's not going to be in the area right now. He's going to back off out of this one. So we are going to see Bird Noises manage to take this point quite a bit faster than what we saw from your name here.
Yeah, and great job there from Goliath, being able to, you know, rein it in, hold himself or keep himself together a little bit and maintain composure, not throwing out shields just haphazardly, holding on to him when they're actually needed. Because of that, he's able to maintain that really, really high energy on the Zarya, maintain control for his team.
That Maywall not quite panning out there for Teenage. Not really going to be zoning anyone off right there, but they're playing in a very aggressive spot right now. If I mean, they don't have a whole lot of room to hold. 80 meters, I mean, 50 more meters at this point, not a very long part. There's the, oh man, we're actually going to see Wolf clean it up there with the Death Blossom. Got charged up by Spo. Pretty anticipated move, especially when you're that aggressive.
Yeah, they're going to have to be careful here. I mean, Decop Teenage going to be able to combo up, but on the other side, you're also going to be able to see Goliath and Jake, so it's really going to come down to this aggressive push that I imagine is going to come out from Goliath. Probably going to be trying to find them grouped up, go for the ultimate, as he does have that 50 energy. It looks like he is going to be trying to look for it, although they're not grouping up for him, which is the great move there on the part of Your Name here.
Sound barrier came down there for the defense. He waited out a little bit, brought down. The Graviton Surge able to find a kill. Dragon strikes through. Jake picks up one, but Teenage on the other side able to clean up the back line. Gets trained. Jake and Super all going to be down here, and it looks like we are going to see Your Name here make a stand after they just didn't account for that backline pressure that came out there from Teenage.
Yeah, and that was just a battle of the Zarya combo, and it really came down to the fact that Teenage was able to find more kills with it, and of course the Graviton was a lot better suited for the defensive side in that area there. They were able to get that backline that you were talking about.
Jake making the swap over to the Genji, looking for Spo up top, slices through him. Can he get the finishing shurikens onto him? Not quite going to be the case. They're going to charge up Wolf, though, as Wolf gets actually earth-shattered by Super and charged. He is not going to die, though, thanks to Decop saving his life. Did use his ultimate, but Jake able to find a kill with Super. Gonna get hooked out there by Volv. He's trying to finish him off, looking for the Roadhog kill. Does find the pick. Blizzard's out here for Teenage and the wall. Great isolation coming through there from the Mei. And they should be able to make a stand, Hurix.
Yeah, Mei is just so good, especially when you can kind of control the ground game a little bit. And they've done so well with that. Goliath still finding kill after kill. Jake still in here as well. If they're able to just kind of maintain composure here, they might be able to turn this one back around and get their team back in from the short spawn. They do have a slight advantage in that regard. Jake's actually going to go ahead with the Dragon Blade, though, and he's going to go forward and try to take on the Reinhardt.
He got charged up there by the Ana. Got put to sleep by Spo before he gets too much work done, and it's going to be a game over anyways, as Bird Noises will take it to him. Going to be going up 1-0 here after winning Hollywood. A fairly convincing win there. I mean, they had plenty of time to work with. They had a lot of aggression there at the end with that Genji powered up. Very impressive victory coming through there from Bird Noises.
It definitely seemed like outside of those big ult combos, I mean, Your Name here wasn't really able to find those kills, and they were able to get it with Spo being able to get a ton of Ana ult charges and able to get those nano boosts into the game. And here you see actually Teenage, one of those setups exactly like I was talking about is, I mean, being able to combo them together, but outside of that, again, not able to find those kills really, and really kind of falling apart in the beginning stages of their attack as well, not being able to get in there and really kind of do anything, especially once they got to the street phase as well, set them up for that quick game one there.
It looks like we actually dropped the call, Hurix.
Yeah.
At some point. As we hopefully get you back here. But as you could see there at the ending score stream.
Mike.
Is my mic screwed?
Yep.
Every time, man, every time. What do you think they, hopefully they can hear me right. What are you thinking about that last minute match moving into Numbani now?
Moving into Numbani is going to be interesting. We did see some great stuff from Bird Noises in terms of their ability to control verticality. And so far, we haven't seen too much from Your Name here in that regard. I mean, we did see Teenage with the ability to go basically anything. Just haven't really seen them come together as a team. And this is something that I was kind of curious about looking at their team in their roster. I mean, I'm not sure how long these guys have been playing together, but it seems like Bird Noises kind of have their stuff together a little bit better so far than Your Name here, although obviously both rosters being pretty stacked. So at this point, I mean, Your Name here, a really good team. I said I would probably be thinking that they were the team to beat going into this, but honestly, with the way that they've been playing, it's been actually almost disappointing, I would have to say. And I would say that Bird Noises definitely has come up for sure.
All right, hopefully everything's fixed now. I think my volume's all good to go. Not exactly sure why Skype keeps doing that, but we should be good here. Something I want to point out is that the ending score screen we saw 29 out of 31 of Goliath's elimination were high energy charge kills. So you could see just how much work he's doing there on the Zarya. And we're looking forward to heading to Numbani next. Map we haven't seen so much lately in AG, but going to be our second map here as both teams are ready to go. And it's going to once again be Bird Noises on defense first off here. And honestly, after that last game, I'm feeling pretty confident if I were to say, if I were to guess that they were going to be taking the series and moving into the semifinals.
The interesting thing that I don't think a lot of people realize is that almost any role can actually carry a team. And obviously we're used to talking about DPS in this respect. We're used to talking about, Genjis. We're used to talking about McCrees, Tracers especially. But typically you don't talk about supports, and you certainly don't talk about tanks most often when you're discussing this subject. But honestly, what we've seen from past tournaments, and especially a team that jumps to mind is Lunatic High with their Zarya, is, tank roles can carry too. And in that last match, Goliath did a very, very good job of actually controlling the pace of the game for his team and actually kind of keeping the fight staggered, making sure that they get back from short spawn quick and they're able to re-engage, sometimes 6v5, 6v4. And, of course, we also saw Jake do a very, very good job of staying with him and maintaining himself as well with those shields and getting aggressive when he could. So they had great communication in that regard as well to be able to win that game out. And it looks like he's not going to be on the tank this time around. He's going to be on the Mei, as they're not going for that triple tank setup. They're instead going double DPS, of course, once again with the Mei that we saw from actually Your Name here in the last one. So it looks like they are going to be kind of controlling that high side a little bit.
Taking a look here at Your Name here, though, 5 out of 6 of these guys have changed up what they've been playing from the last map. Only Decop on the same hero here. So very interesting to see if they're thinking that maybe a bit of a change up will suffice and put them in the right mindset moving forward, as they do bring out the Lucio and Zenyatta, and they're going to be getting on the point, and we're going to see a bit of aggression here from Sledge Mama. He's going to be dropped immediately though. Rob going to pick up the kill, and Wolf gets hit without a grenade, going to pick up the health pack. Is he going to last against Super? Super going over aggressive for him, but Nagiz's going to find the kill in the end. The rest of the team able to clean it up here.
Yeah, Goliath getting incredibly low here. Luckily, his team came through. They weren't able to really get much value out of that Mei, at least in the early stage of that fight. And that really is what you want to have from Mei. If you're not able to actually get an early isolation going into a fight with a Mei, especially on defense, then you're going to be playing from behind. And it's going to come down to the rest of your team kind of coming up and supporting you and being able to make those adjustments to win that fight out. And luckily for him, his team did. Rob 420 going to be winning. Kind of winning the engagement there by being able to get his nano boost and hold on to it. Spo, of course, using that fight, and Teenage actually has his ult charged up as well, as they're already on the point here.
Deadeye comes through from Teenage. Earthshatter gonna connect from Super though, and he's gonna knock them all down, especially out of that McCree Deadeye. We are going to see Decop up against Mei in the back, trying to finish him off. He will be frozen and taken down here. We did see Train and Rob both taken out, but it looks like the rest of the team able to clean it up here without a problem whatsoever. A little bit of a push coming through there from Your Name here, but still only one ultimate up here for their next push.
Yeah, they're going to have to get back quick. We are seeing Train getting really close to having that ult, and they're going to need it to be able to contend with Wolf, who does have that charge up, and Spo should be able to get his charge up as well during this fight. And they are going to isolate the Zarya here with the Mei wall.
See if they're able to get a kill. There's the Blizzard coming through here from Goliath. Taking a look at him. They're going to try and get on top of the Rhine. They're going to freeze them all up, finding 3 kills. The whole hog's out for ball. Another Mei wall coming through, really not getting a lot of work done with it, but nonetheless, they're going to be able to get them all out. And I don't know about that Dragon Blade from Wolf. As soon as that Mei wall came up, you probably would have expected to drop a guy or two, and you really weren't in a great position to drop that ultimate. They do have Spo and Sledge Mama that's up for this next fight, though, but Train up against Jared. Jared's still a little ways off from his. This is going to be a rough push. 1:30 left on the clock here.
Yeah, while we know that these guys are mechanically talented, it seems like they have no idea how to play this ult game. I mean, they're just using it when they just don't need to. Goliath going for the wall, but not able to find an isolation, just completely walls them all out. And now they're going to have to contend with this Zarya ult.
See if they're able to get anything done with it. Earthshatter ready to go from Sledge Mob. Going to bring it down, able to land it onto 4 people. He's going to be dropped by Jake. Jake going to town, picks up 2 kills. Potentially a third one around the corridor here, looking for Spo. Doesn't want to be taken out, though. Is going to get some heals from his teammates. He's going to be okay. 1 minute on the clock. Ultimates will finally be in favor of Your Name here for this next fight.
So it looks like Goliath getting some aggressive positioning here. Going to have to pull it back. Might have to use the wall to just to get back up to his spot in time, which means he won't have it for this fight. And it looks like they are going low side, though, and they don't know yet. And look at this full flank. The whole team is already behind him.
I really like this push. This is a third different angle they're trying to go around here that didn't work the other ways. They're going to try it this way. They're going to look for a Deadeye across here, and that's exactly what they're doing. Fire Strike going to hit Teenage, not quite going to eliminate him. He's going to charge it up as long as he can, looking for something. He's going to find a kill on a Super. That's a huge pickup as they're going to move forward with the numbers advantage. They have the sound barrier out here as they push forward. They are going to lose Vol, though, as Wolf drops down, able to pick up the kill onto the Roadhog. D-Cop gets another for himself. It's a 2-for-1 here. We are going to see Jake bringing out the Death Blossom. He's going to be dropped, though. Goliath, the last one on the point. He's going to be taken down by Teenage after he dropped the Blizzard, and it looks like Your Name here should be able to come up with the fight.
Yeah, and just at the last second, Your Name here once again going to be able to find that for themselves. But looking forward at this, Spo Wolf going to be able to combo up pretty soon. Rod 420 does have his as well, but really, I mean, no one to kind of charge up unless you're going to give it up to the Reinhardt if they want to contend on this next fight. In my opinion, at this stage, just go for the dry push. The first time, give them a little bit of spacing. Try to die all at once really quickly so that you can kind of get in there, try to get some more ult charge, and have 4, maybe even 5 ults if you find some kills into the next fight.
Wolf hiding around the corner, looking for something big. He is actually gonna get charged up. He's gonna, actually, it wasn't even him who was charged up. Maybe he thought he was right there. Not gonna be able to get anything off it. They accidentally charged up Jer there, so they couldn't make a push. That is so unfortunate. They had the ultimates for a good fight, but Super gonna be taken down there. It doesn't matter. Graviton Surge out here for D-Cop. Can they get anything off of it? Bull able to heal himself up. Looking for Jer. Able to find the pick as he's taken down in the end. Jake gonna come up with kill. A Sound Barrier came out there for the defense, and they should be able to hold on here.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate here for Your Name here. I mean, they should have been able to win that. I mean, ult economy alone, they should have been able to win that fight, and that should have been forced ults coming out from the defense, and honestly, I'm not really sure. And this just feels like a breakdown in communication and teamwork here that has kind of caused this so far for them. Jake does have his ultimate ready to go on the Dragon Blade, and he's looking actually to try to take out some of the back line here as he's going straight in, looking for some of these guys. Actually, Lucio's going to be pinned out as he finds yet another kill.
We are going to see the pin come through there and finish off Wolf. He got Earth Shattered mid-Death Blossom as it looked like a favorable fight there for Your Name here. Just like you said, there's so much talent on the side of Your Name here. It's just they don't seem like they've got a lot of practice together, first off, and obviously they're a new team. They don't even have an official team name at this point, but definitely not doing too terribly bad here given their first few pushes on that first point, but they don't have much time to be able to get this next checkpoint.
Yeah, so far Jake has just been toying with them at this stage on the Genji. It looks like Teenage going to be charging up that ult. Last time it was able to open up the site for them. This time it doesn't look like that's going to be the case as he's been charged up. They do take out Super in the process, though, as he's looking for this Reaper kill.
Not quite going to find it. Whole Hog was out there for Bull. He's going to get picked up. Oh, no. Sound Barrier able to save him. He's looking for the headshots there. He's going to find the kill on this ball. It is in overtime right now. They've got to get on that payload in time. We are going to see... Ooh, looking for the finish touch on his bow. Can they get the kill onto him? He's just around the corner. Oh my goodness, both teams not having a whole lot of numbers here on this payload. All that remains is Teenage. Teenage got to stay in this fight. He's got the Ana healing him from afar, but not sure if he's going to be able to keep himself up here.
Yeah, luckily for them, Lucio is able to get the rest of the team back on the point. Super going to be able to find a Earth Shatter pick there, and Goliath actually kind of sweeping the floor a little bit here, and it's just going to be Lucio trying to hold on at this stage.
That's going to seal it.
Over, but
yeah, Train able to get the last couple of hits there, but Sound Barrier was even out, and they were just funneling onto that point. Not a terrific push at the end, but nonetheless, they came up with a lot more of that payload push than expected, given the fact that last, the very last push coming through there from Your Name here. I didn't expect them to even get that point A. It did not look favorable for them.
Yeah, this is basically the exact same thing that we saw in the last game, where they were able to get 1 point after really kind of taking a little bit longer than you would have liked to have seen from a team of this caliber, and just barely not being able to make it to that second objective. So now it is going to be on Your Name here to kind of hold off once again, and what is surely to be something that is going to be kind of a tragic 2-0 loss. At least at this stage, it seems like that. We're going to be seeing an interesting setup here, although it looks like Teenage is going to be back on the McCree here. Sledge Mama, of course, has been contending with Super all night on this Reinhardt so far. We did see him on, he was on the Winston before, wasn't he, on first push?
Yes, he had been on the Winston.
Swapped back over, so.
They were going for that very aggressive composition, just didn't work out for him. Had to go back to the roots. And I really liked the initial point A, not the initial point A, the fact that they were changing it up there and made the push below and got around from the flank. That was a very nice push from them, and it ended up paying off in the end. But I have to see if they can make a very solid hold against Bird Noises. They've just looked so good, especially on Hollywood, and even there on defense, despite a few hiccups at the end, giving up that point A. I'd expect Bird Noises to be able to take this, but we're definitely going to see a fight here from your name here.
Looks like Rob on the Mercy at the moment. Not too sure if we're actually going to see him stick on that. He is going to be back over onto Anna here. We are going to be seeing Goliath on the Tracer, it looks like. Super going to be switching over to... Oh, they're actually going for a full dive comp here. Vol actually going to be going for the 4th pick that you pretty much never see Diva being involved in this as well. But that's going to be a 4-man dive comp. Rob 420 and Train going to be basically helping out from afar.
I really like this. I think this is going to be a good push from Bird Noises. We are going to see them get right on top of Zarya. Look for something. Winston a little low, but Diva already out in a mech right now. That's 2 down. Super and Glyde both taken down, but Ball's going to town here. Can he finish him off? It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Zarya able to shoot herself up, and despite thinking that was going to look like a nice push from them, just not going to pay off.
But they do have a couple of picks here. They do have the ability to get back in there if they're able to make it back quickly. And it's going to be basically open on that high side now because Reinhardt's not going to have time to adjust. Goliath right now is going to be the man in charge to make sure that, he's actually going to be able to find Wolf, perhaps. He did win the duel last time around. Wolf shot himself in the face off the deflect, and Goliath actually going to be able to support that as they dive in once again here, forcing these guys away from the point.
Look how far Vol just pushed him back there, especially in the McCree. He's got the Dragon Blade ready to go. Able to pick up the health pack and sustain himself at the time being, but Super picks up a couple kills for himself. Look at the positioning. Look at where they forced your name here. Teenage looking for the kill. No, the slice gonna come through. Jake picks up 2 after it looked like he was gonna meet his demise there. I mean, it looked like he was done for after the Phantom Hammer coming through there from Teenage, but not gonna be able to finish him off. And we're gonna see Bird Noises with a very quick first point push on there, that point A.
Yeah, and they're gonna have 5 minutes with some pretty decent ults here to be able to push it forward. And they don't even need to get that second objective. They just need to push it those 95 meters, and it's not going to take them too much. I mean, they only really have 2 kind of tough corners to get around. The first one, of course, being the easier of the 2. They should be able to get this one rather easily. It's just going to be that second one with the ults powered up. Going to be Jake with the Dragon Blade as he's looking for Lucio, takes him out.
He's looking for another. Not quite going to find the Ana, but looking to finish him off in the end. It's favorable push here for Bird Noises. They did lose Train and Goliath. Can they get anything else? Spo going to be taken down there. Zarya, Reinhardt still in the area. Zarya got to put to sleep, but Jake actually woke him up. Graviton Surge comes through there from Decop. Can they get anything off it? No. They're 2 down and out, and it's going to be Bird Noises making, kind of a useless ultimate from Decop. It looked favorable at first, but as soon as they lost Decop and the Reinhardt, it was pretty much over from that.
Teenage does have his ult charged up. Wolf as well. Sledge Mom, if he gets a knockdown, they could be able to clean this one up and make a stand here with just 4 minutes remaining. But it is going to really kind of come down to this fight here. The offense with almost no ults. Rob 420 did get his charge all the way back up in this fight, and one fight alone, actually.
It eyes out for Teenage. This is it. Wolf has to be power. Wolf's not actually, Spo didn't have the power up. He looks for the Death Blossom, finds nothing as Jake able to reflect most of the damage, not quite going to get the pick. Somehow Wolf is still alive in the fight. They get 2 kills for themselves, looking for a third on the Zarya. Gonna find Goliath, and we are going to see your name here make a stand. Still 3:20 on the clock. Not very far to go. If you're Bird Noises, this is not looking good here for the defense.
Yeah, it seems like the only fights that they're actually winning with any real, really winning are the ones where Teenage is able to ult up and he's able to stand behind that Reinhardt shield. I mean, as soon as we see some counter aggression coming out to be able to jump on top of Teenage, that won't work, and I'm not sure if they'll be able to win fights.
Oh, huge Earth Shatter connecting there from Sledge Mama, finds 2 kills. Gonna get some follow-up from Wolf and Teenage to help him out, looking to finish off Goliath. He hit 4 people with that, perfectly timed, after we actually saw Super drop his shield there, and they're going to be able to continue to push that payload back to 35 on the clock. This is looking better and better for him. Still a lot of time to hold.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes though. They were able to take down about 2 minutes now, so they're going to have to contend with a really hard fight. We are going to be seeing both sides with the Ana ult, the Nano boost ready to go. One side Jake gonna be with the Dragon Blade as he cuts up inside of the Zarya ult. They find 2 kills there already as Wolf actually contends and finds 3.
Oh, he does get put to sleep in the end, but he found 3 kills with that Dragon Blade being charged up. But look, Jake and Rob, the last ones remaining. Actually, he's just coming off respawn here, so I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything off of this. It's like they should be able to make the stand.
Again, 40 seconds off the clock. Every time one of these fights happen, they're actually able to just peel off so much time here, as we are seeing a lot of staggered kills come in, as Goliath and Jake aren't able to do what we saw them do on Hollywood, which was kind of stick around, try to put some extra damage in, stagger this defensive side out. Not really working for him this time.
Old somewhat favoring the defense here just by 1. The Earthshatter not going to hit a whole lot. Does get Jer in the process. Whole Hog's out there. We actually see the Graviton Surge from Decop as well, as it's going to be 3 kills in favor of the offense. They're pushing it forward. They're going to find another. Super picks up Decop and Wolf, and they should be able to finish this one out here. It's 1:15 on the clock. They can't get back in time. Bird Noises going to take the game, going to take the series over Your Name here after a very solid hold nonetheless, but they will be taking this one 2-0 and moving into the semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, again, really strong teams on both sides. Kind of a little, I mean, I have to say, admittedly disappointing for Your Name here because, as we know, this is mechanically a very, very, very strong team. It's just, I mean, with the ult economy, with the way that they were kind of taking these engagements, we saw a couple of great moments from them, but ultimately it really didn't kind of amount to what we expected. You know, looking at this team in 2 weeks is probably going to be a very, very different story. But as of right now, Bird Noise is definitely deserving of that win and being able to move forward into that semifinal.
That semifinal going to be up next. Helix Esports or Shielding Tane will be the opponent for Bird Noises. Bird Noises with that number 3 seed. Gonna probably look for Helix Esports. Helix Esports are literally one spot ahead of them in the Gosu Gamers NA ranking. So they're gonna look for that matchup. That should be an exciting series coming your way next. A reminder, guys, !Matcherino in Twitch chat. Use that coupon code AGOW22 to donate $1 to the prize pool. We're gonna head to a short break. When we're back, we'll have the semifinal. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to the AG Weekly number 22. We are ready to go with our semifinal match after a little bit of a long wait, but Helix Esports taking the 2-1 series over Shielding Tane, which is pretty interesting to see Shielding Tane able to take a game off of Helix Esports. You know a couple of those guys on Shielding Tane, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, we both do. Shielding Tane, of course, having Verbo, someone who has been around AG quite some time, and Thundercats definitely someone that stands out as well. But yeah, able to take a game off Helix Esports, but of course we do have Helix Esports here versus Bird Noises. Bird Noises just took out Your Name here 2-0, and that is a really strong team. But they're going to be going up. I mean, whoever wins this is going to be going up against 2 ridiculously strong teams as well. Velociraptor Gaming, I believe, was it winning or was it second place last week? I believe it was second place last week. They got second place, yeah. They... So whoever wins this one is going to be up against a really tough team as well, the other one being Neutronic. So this is, again, another week where it's just really tough series across the board throughout the entirety of the stream.
Certainly true. OW Draft is ready to go here as both teams are going to be banding out here in our best of 3 in this semifinal. So they're going to choose which maps they're going to want to play on here. As it will be Helix Esports on defense first off. That does kind of make a difference to some teams, which is with the better seed. This is 2 versus 3. Like I said, these 2 teams are literally one spot away from each other in terms of North American Gosu Gamers rankings. So pretty close matchup. I'm expecting a really good one here, but nothing too surprising in terms of picks and bans just yet. But Hanamura is still on the board there, as well as Ilios, Route 66 as well. So a few of those outliers still out there.
Yeah, and Route 66 is the one that stands out to me mostly because that's the one that almost all teams don't want to go into, although we are going to be seeing Ilios banned out. So that was that other one where that was kind of interesting. But Route 66 is going to be taken to that third map, and we're going to be seeing Hollywood and Dorado up first. And just waiting to see which one that is going to be for the first map. Of course, Hollywood and Dorado both pretty standard maps you typically see. Dorado being one of the ones that is picked, of course, a little bit less often than the traditional Hollywood Kings Row, but Bird Noises just coming out with their first ban and banning out Kings Row immediately. Seems like they're just trying to stay away from that one a little bit, and they are going to be going over to Dorado for first map. So I expect to see ton of Reaper here for sure, especially on that first point between both of these teams. Not really sure what to expect too much from Helix Esports. Of course, Helix Esports with a long history in Overwatch competitive scene. Of course, having Carbon as well as what was the other one? It was Carbon and they had some other like second team or something. And of course, the first one with Carbon had guys like Sherlocky on it, a pretty solid team. But they wound up dropping most, if not all, of that roster, and now they're here with their sole roster, the main roster here, and that's going to consist of the guys you're about to see going up against Bird Noise, the team that we just watched take down your name here. But I believe Boss Floss is the main tank.
Yep.
So I've definitely seen that guy play a little bit, and he's going to be contending with Super, who we saw just absolutely demolish the last team here on the Reinhardt v Reinhardt matchup. So that's going to be a lot to kind of go up against and see what we're going to be, what they're going to be able to do to contend with that.
That's certainly true, and Bird Noise is a pretty terrific round of 8 performance. They did, like I said earlier, they've 2-0'd all their games in AG so far, but Helix dropping 1 to Shielding Tane, like you said, Verbo's on that team, so not too, I guess it's a little surprising, but Helix Esports, like I said, get that one up on Bird Noises, and Bird Noises really kind of want to take it to him right now. But looks like we are ready to go here on Dorado for our map number 1, and then we will be hitting Hollywood. But Dorado, first time seeing that tonight. Really looking forward to heading to it here and what we're going to be seeing from both teams.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see if we're going to be seeing a May pick. Could see some triple tank setups as well. Super going to go ahead and commentate the match as well for us in match chat, but we're obviously going to be seeing probably a triple tank setup here from the attacking side, as Super is on the Widowmaker, but of course we'll likely switch over to that Reinhardt that we see quite often. We do see that May pick coming out from Zen, Hobbs being the other DPS going for hit scan. That's going to be on the McCree as well. And last time we saw a lot of work being done by Goliath, and we talked a little bit about how, you know, a tank can come up and kind of carry some of these fights here, and Goliath did just that actually in the Hollywood matchup versus your name here. So they did a fantastic job in that department. Bird Noise is stepping up with their tanks as well. So this is going to be a rough match, especially after dropping a match against Shielding Tane, a team that has kind of come together as well. I anticipate Bird Noises to do quite well in this matchup.
Really curious to see how Zen is going to fare on the May pick right now, and what they're going to actually see from Bird Noises to contend with it, as Hobbs also going to be on the McCree. So we'll be bringing out that double tank setup and see if we're going to be seeing that triple tank. Probably going to see it, like you said, Super going to be making that swap over to the Reinhardt as expected, maybe looking for an early pick or two, but just going to actually go right for it. And Jake going to be going over to the Genji here. Saw a little bit of that, if I'm not mistaken, on Nubani from Bird Noises. So game number 1 here between Bird Noises and Helix Esports. Who's going to be coming out on top? It's the real question, is these two teams pretty evenly matched.
It looks like they are already making that swap off the balcony, and now under Archway they are just looking to kind of make a play with Zen, but Zen's actually gonna get hooked. Luckily was able to shield off the pressure that came to follow, but Super adjusting accordingly to that and not actually getting isolated by the wall. Zen is still looking for that, actually gets both tanks there, and now Super backed into the corner with Goliath. He's gonna be actually taking out Goliath as well.
Both
Jake
tanks
tries
down.
to find a kill.
2 tanks down right there early on. That was a great wall coming through there from Zen. Boss Floss not able to land the charge right onto him as he hit the payload, but nonetheless followed up with 2 kills. That's what matters in the end. I actually see Zen kind of toying around with Vol up top, but they're going to be looking for that regroup, as it looks like actually Rob a little closer to having to charge up than Spreezen, but not going to be too far off for the most part, as Hobbs getting close to the Deadeye. But pretty nice initial hold coming through there from Helix.
It looks like they are going to try to get some verticality here, and they are going to get spotted now by Hobbs, who's backing down, does give that information to his team. They are able to get some early damage in before they're actually able to engage, but look at this. Hobbs does have that ultimate ready to go. He can kind of back up and find himself a different situation before this engagement actually happens to try to get some pressure and force that shield to come up so that Boss Floss can actually control the pace of the engagement here, as it looks like it's already kind of starting up.
Forcing back Helix a little bit right now. We're actually going to see the Earthshatter come through there from Super on the offense. He's going to look for a charge. Not going to actually land anything. He found 1 kill on his Horizon there. Zen going to come through with the Blizzard. Ooh, he's not quite going to get knocked out of that one, as we see Boss Floss looking for the finishing touch. Going to get healed up, though, by Horizon as he's able to keep him up. And Super going to town here. I'm not sure about that sound barrier for the defense. They've pretty much already lost everything at that point. But nonetheless, we are going to see Vol come through with the kill on Delkia. They're going to be able to finish off the McCree as well and move forward to that first checkpoint here.
Yeah, going into that fight, I would have assumed that they wanted to use Hobbs as a mechanic to make sure that the shield has to come up and force the positioning for them, for the attacking side, to just be kind of clumped together so they can find those kills, you know, with the rest of their guys, especially like Rage and Zen, that Reaper pick there. You know, Zen, of course, being on the Mei, that if they were all clumped up, it would have been perfect for them, but they didn't actually even use Hobbs' ult. He held onto it for the entirety of the fight and never actually went ahead and zoned them off at all, and Boss wasn't able to get anything going on the enemy Reinhardt either.
Graviton Surge is out there for Rage, but there's no follow-up whatsoever. We see the Dragon Blade out here for Jake. Can he get anything done? 3 already off the board, make it 4 as Jake picks up another, and they're looking for the finishing touches here onto Rage, and Rage going to be taken down. That's going to be the 6-man team kill coming through there for Bird Noises. Virtually uncontested here, as they are looking so good in the early stages of Dorado.
Yeah, Spryzen does have that ultimate charged up, Boss Floss ready to go with the Earth Shatter as well, but Super has done quite well in these matchups when both ultimates are charged up for the Reinhardts, and you might see another opportunity for him to shine for his team here.
Not quite going to land a whole lot with Boss Floss's ultimate as we see Super get a kill onto Rage. Looking for the charge, not going to find anything. Both Reinhardts with a kill apiece. We see the charged up Zen. Doesn't have... Oh, now he has the Death Blossom. Not charged up, though, with it. He used... the on ult actually came onto him without it. They're able to make a stand. Helix Esports clean it up, despite pretty much uncontesting that payload for the most part early on. But they're going to make a stand before the second checkpoint.
Yeah, Zen right now trying to get an early advantage here as he is trying to gain some verticality going up on top of Chapel here, but they do know he's up there, so they are going to be kind of cognizant of that fact. Zen does have that ultimate that you were talking about getting charged up in the middle of that fight. Hobbs still has his as well, and it looks like actually Zen's going to be in a perfect position to drop down in here and get this ult if he decides he wants to do that.
It's not quite going to do it. Going to Wraith on out of this one. Around the payload, he's going to definitely drop it more than... Oh, Sound Barrier's out there. I'm waiting for him to use it. He's not even going to need it here. It's a 2-for-1, though, as Rage gets the kill onto Goliath. Sound Barrier out here for the offenses. They're looking for finish off Zen. He's going to get hooked up there. Able to Wraith out of that before Vol finishes him off. They do have ultimates ready to go, but no one's in the right position, as we are going to see Spryzen more than likely dropped as well, and it will be Bird Noises moving forward. Boss Floss, a risky move. He's going to go in there and get taken out as well, but he should be back up before that next team fight kind of starts. But ultimately, Bird Noises still looking so good.
Yeah, right now Super does still have that ultimate. Route 420 getting close. I imagine they're going to want to come together with that Genji ult as well, as Genji actually just found a pick on Zen, so that's a lot of lethality taken away now from the defensive side as they're waiting for him to come back up. Still has that ultimate as he wasn't able to actually get it off in the last fight, and that's going to be with the Ana ult that they're going to be able to use it, and they are going to go up to that high side there, be able to drop down on top of them as Super actually going for the flank here.
And they're doing it. They charge up Jake. Jake finds 2 kills right away. Actually gets hit with the Earth Shatter by Boss Floss. Not going to actually be taken out. He's going to drop down below, and actually still alive here, but nonetheless, it's kill after kill coming out here for the offense. They did lose a couple of their guys. Boss Floss trying to do what he can. He's going to be taken down as Hobbs and Spryzen come off of respawn. They can do a very small regroup if they want to before that payload hits its final destination, but the Graviton Surge is out for Goliath, and that should finish it off. Actually, we do see Zen making it to the point in time. No ultimates ready for either team. They're trying to make a last stand. The hook onto Jake from Hobbs, then make the stand, Hurix.
That was completely on the supports from Helix Esports. Actually, Spryzen coming through huge, getting the sleep dart onto Super as he was charging through, trying to get that Roadhog out and pushed back. Spryzen actually going to be able to cancel that one off, and then of course Elkia coming up big with that huge Lucio ult. A lot of value coming out of that one, and they're able to kind of push them off now. 150 left on the clock to get this last point, and it's the supports from Helix Esports who have kind of come together and made this happen.
Looks like it's going to be a high ground push from both teams. We see as Bird Noises getting through here, looking for something. No ultimates up for either of them, as Zen and Boss Floss very close to having actually Sound Barrier comes through there from the offense. But little do they know, the hook actually from Vol. Look at it. Whoa, he gets hooked back from... Oh my goodness, it looks like Hobbs able to find it. It's going to be a 2-for-1 though for the defense. You don't even need the Death Blossom, but Jake with, oh man, the Blade, he's able to find 3 kills in the end, looking for a 4th on the Rage, and he actually gets the kill with the help of Tame, slices through Spryzen, and they're going to finish him off. The Sleep Dart coming through there onto the Tracer, going to find the kill, and it's going to be Bird Noises making the push, able to finish it off with 1:05 remaining on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, Helix Esports was able to take a lot of time off the clock, though, so that's the good thing for them. If they're able to kind of come together on this attacking side, it's going to be a lot to do, but if they're able to do it, they should be able to potentially kind of win this one out just by having more time on the clock and at the end of this. And, of course, they do have that chance, but... you know, Spryzen once again coming through with a huge Sleep Dart, getting it on Jake and taking him out of the fight for the first couple of seconds of that fight. But it was Goliath who was actually able to come through once again on the Zarya to be able to make the plays for his team, get that high energy, and actually kind of, again, put a ton of damage into the backline, find those picks, and kind of make sure that he's staying up as Super did fall and, you know, finish the game out for his team. But we are seeing Hobbs actually on the attacking Hanzo here.
Okay, I was thinking maybe the Bastion. He's looking for something else maybe. We'll have to see what Super's going to pick up. But like you had mentioned, Hobbs.
I'm kind of curious why Zen is actually on the Roadhog, though. They're going for this setup here, which typically you typically see it with the Reaper, and the reason being is you're able to use those 2 ults in conjunction and then, you know, alternate between the 2. Of course, those being, you know, the ones that we always talk about, the nano boosted Beyblade with the Death Blossom, as well as the Dragon Strike into the Graviton Surge, and just kind of alternating back and forth. But this time around, we're seeing actually Zen on the Roadhog going for the triple tank setup. So this is kind of some interesting hybrid that they're going for to be able to go and attack this map. And again, they do have to make it all the way to the end of this map. Spryzen did a great job on defense. He's going to have to come up big on offense, though, if they're going to make it all the way.
They will have to get that entire distance covered here, as we will see if Helix Esports can live up to it. What we saw from a very, very strong push initially from Bird Noises. Like you said, oh, nice hook from Zen. Ooh, gonna get shielded up though, as Goliath able to save Train for the time being. Force that shield up and look for some early push pressure. We'll have to see if Hobbs is able to get anything done as a Hanzo. That's kind of the big wild card right now.
Yeah, and you really need to get picks. If you're just putting just straight damage forward, you're going to be losing that Ana v Ana fight. And actually Goliath doing so much work here with 90 energy on his charge here, as he's able to get these incredibly strong shields. Actually, look at Boss Floss getting charged up already as he's just going ham with the shield. Super going to pin him out though, as they find that kill despite the nano boost.
That's a pretty big early pickup, and Jake able to finish off Hobbs. And given the fact that we see Spryzen already using that, Rob gonna have it for the next fight. Goliath already has his ultimate, and Jake ready to go in conjunction with it, and they're just gonna hold it off. Maybe look for a last-second pick if they can with the Fire Strike. Not gonna be able to find anything, but nonetheless, look at the ultimate stacking up here for the defense. They look poised to be able to take this next fight with 4 of them up.
Yeah, and they do have that option to go with any kind of choice that they want to. They could just use Goliath, as he's been able to maintain high energy. They know that he's going to be able to charge his back up fast. Hobbs finding 2 kills, 2 quick picks, 2 of those being high-value targets as well. We're going to see a lot of defensive ults coming out here to try to save this
Dragon Strike coming through there. Didn't even need it, to be honest. They looked so good in this push, and the whole hog out for Zen, able to oh, there he's going to actually drop it down there, looking to finish off Super, and he's going to get picked up by Hobbs, and Hobbs getting some work done with the Hanzo. He's going to go back to the spawn and look for a different pickup, though, because that gimmick is a little kind of out, not really going to be used for quite some time, especially since Rage doesn't have his Graviton Surge even close to getting up. Used it in the last fight there. So, going to make the swap over to the Reaper for this next push.
The other thing is that they get immediate value out of this swap. Hanzo's ult was just used. He's not going to have that charge up. Now, actually, Spryzen can give that ultimate or that nano boost now to the Reaper, even though he doesn't have that charged Death Blossom. He's still going to be able to pick a lot of kills off with it and find a lot of value with that nano boost.
Sound barrier coming through there. Oh, and the Earthshatter actually going to connect from Boss Floss and Super as well. Both of them breaking it out there. Who's going to do it? Is Bird Noises losing member by member. It looks like we're going to see Helix Esports make the push forward, using a lot of ults throughout that fight. The charge from Boss Floss not going to connect onto anybody, but nonetheless, look how aggressive they are being with that payload still quite a ways behind them there.
Yeah, but they're going to be able to push this one very, very quickly to that second objective. And they're going to have a lot of time to work with in this last phase of the map if they decide, or if the defensive side doesn't actually try to contest this one. It looks like they are kind of lagging around, waiting for all those spawns to come up. I'm not sure if they're going to actually, they are going to be able to contest it. They are going to be able to get in here. The Sleep Dart comes out, Rob 420 landing it on the Reinhardt.
Death Blossom was out there for Hobbs, but he immediately got taken out. Doesn't even matter as Bird Noises pick up 4 kills, and they're going to hold it for that next checkpoint. That's huge that they were able to get there so quickly and make sure that they weren't able to get that quicker checkpoint. Nonetheless, 3 minutes still on the clock. Plenty of time to work with if you're Helix, but honestly, that was a very convincing hold coming through there at that last, before that checkpoint.
I mean, so much was on that Sleep Dart. I mean, completely pivotal in that fight to just drop the Reinhardt out of the fight so that then 2 quick kills could be found. One of those being a pin coming out from Super onto the Reaper, I believe it was, in that one. And they were able to find a lot of value from that as well. And again, Anna's coming up big for these 2 teams.
Looking for some high ground right here. They don't know Jake is around the corner. He's actually, oh man, he's right below him. Look, he's going to be powered up right into the Death Blossom. He gets 3 of them. 2 of them actually making a third as Vol going to follow up with that 3rd kill. And they had no clue he was right there, Hurix. He dropped down below, came right behind him, and able to just bust their combo up. And 2:20 now left on the clock.
They are going to be contending now. Super does have that Fire Shatter along with Vol, of course, with the whole hog. But on the offensive side, they are going to have to worry about that Ana ult. Robert 420, of course, just using his to power up Jake, who did use that Death Blossom and got 50% charge afterwards, that they were able to find some kills post-ult as well. And it looks like Helix Esports actually going towards that high plat side, and now we're going to be seeing them right behind the chapel a little bit as they're going in. And look at this, just jumping straight into this as Hobbs gets taken down to 30 HP.
That's a perfect spot for that whole hog. Look, Boss Flash literally could not do anything right there. Nice hook from Zen. He's going to get hooked out by Vol, though. Oh my goodness, that was a perfectly timed ultimate coming through there from Vol, because they all came around the corner here, and then Boss Floss forced to back up without a shield, looked for a charge, got hit with a biotic grenade by Rob, and literally couldn't do anything for his team.
Yeah, and Super has, honestly, some of the best Reinhardt timings that I've seen in quite a while here outside of the really kind of top 10 scene. Really phenomenal job from him making sure that he landed that Earthshatter as well to find value with Vol's whole hog as well. So great job from him as they're actually getting aggressive already. And look at this, finding 2 kills and a charge.
Full hog's out there from Zen, looking to finish off Vol, but he's not quite going to be taken down as Zen was charged up. He's actually going to hook him, but the Zarya shield's out here. He's going to be taken down. Boss Floss still in the fight, looking for something else. It's a bit of a little skirmish going on here, if I'm not mistaken. A 3-on-3 on the point here, but I think we're going to see Helix actually back Bird Noises up as they're going to find the pick onto Goliath. He got hooked out there by Zen. They're going to, oh, Jake coming in so hot here with the charge up. No Death Blossom, but they wanted to contest the point once again. 30 seconds on the clock. It's a 1-for-1 sound barrier out here for the defense. This is looking convincing here as the Graviton Surge comes through from Rage. Can they get anything off of it?
Hobbs coming through with the damage this time around. If you're able to figure out this kill on the Reaper, they should be able to push this one forward as Goliath is forced back as well. And Hobbs looking for that kill actually alongside 3 other members of his team. They're able to find that one. Not much of a stagger, but a stagger nonetheless. And they are now going to be standing in a position now where they have a minute and a half to get this objective. So far, a great defense at that last contestation point there on the second objective. Coming actually from Bird Noises, and now they only have to worry about really kind of 2 fights or 1 extended fight and just a hold to be able to win this one out.
I'm expecting a lot of aggression should Bird Noise get this, a pick or 2 here, really push him back and have that numbers advantage. So we're going to actually see Helix Esports look for the high ground right now. Going to be met by a Fire Strike to the face. Ultimate's not quite an advantage of anyone for that matter, as we see it looks like, oh man, it's going to be Helix Esports coming out with multiple kills. There's Zen able to come through big with his whole hog. And Vol, the last one remaining here. But nonetheless, Helix going to be moving forward with the payload. 45 seconds on the clock here.
Yeah, no real big ultimates, no pivotal ultimates coming out. Charged up here. Vol's going to be the only one with that ultimate up, and if Rob can actually get some heals into Goliath and kind of force his to come out, he's actually going to be picked off though. They're going to be sitting in the 4v6 situation as Vol's going to be trying to save this for his team, and he's already getting exploded here by the Reinhardt who gets pushed off.
Hobbs came up with a clutch pick with the Zeth Blossom onto the Ana right away in that fight. Isolated 2 people, able to get 2 kills. Looking for another one. He is uncontested. Nobody's on it. He is a machine right now. They're going to finish off Goliath there. 10 seconds on the clock. Can they get it? They're going to contest as long as they can here until it goes into overtime. Vol making the swap over to the 76. Jake on the Tracer. Graviton Surge comes through there. They may make a stand here. I don't know. Boss Floss is a ways away. We see Zen taken down. Alkia's taken down. Surprising the last one remaining. He's not going to get on payload. Pitch put to sleep. That's going to be it. We're going to see Bird Noises taking map number 1.
Yeah, and what a close match that was, and all basically riding on that second objective, being able to contend right there and hold it for as long as possible, and just kind of jumping back into that fight over and over and over again to kind of keep them in that archway where they had a little bit more control. First and third point didn't really go as planned, I think, from their perspective, but certainly that second objective was a lot better on the defensive side for Bird Noises.
Play the game coming through here from nice Earth Shatter from Boss Floss, but clearly not enough to get the job done. It's Bird Noises. I expected a really close series here between these very tight teams in terms of skill, to be quite honest. As you could see, came down to the last couple seconds, and Bird Noises just proving they're the better team there on Dorado, and we're going to be heading to Hollywood next, so pretty familiar map for both teams. What are you expecting on this next map?
Given what we've seen from Bird Noises on Hollywood, I'm probably going to side with Bird Noises once again. I think that they're likely the better team, especially given the fact that they've had the practice now on this map and on stream. I'm not really sure what maps that Helix Esports has played so far. I imagine they've played a Hollywood map today. I mean, now that we're in the semifinals and they had best of 3s the whole way through, so I imagine they've probably played Hollywood. I'm not sure what was Hollywood in the round of 8 or round of 16?
I think it was round of 16 if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it was round of 8. It was round of 8. Yeah, they have.
So they've played it now. Both teams have played it now. Oh, of course. Of course we knew it was round of 8. We just watched round of 8.
Yeah.
But yeah, so both teams have now played this. But given what we've seen with Bird Noises, given the fact that now I feel like they're warmed up, and we've seen what Goliath and Jake can do on this map, I think that Bird Noises is going to be able to lock this one down and move 2-0 through and make it their third, I think fourth actually, 2-0 in a row, third because they had the first round bye. Yeah. Third 2-0 in a row to be able to move on to the finals against either Neutronic or Velociraptor. But still, I mean, Helix Esports has kind of surprised me so far. Spryzen being the big standout, at least in my mind, of being able to make a ton of plays for his team, and a lot of those coming off of sleep darts, of course, primarily. And if he's able to continue that level of play and maybe make some plays for his team, they might have a shot here. They honestly might, because the rest of his team, I mean, Hobbs, of course, making a ton of plays as well, putting a lot of damage out with that Reaper and doing a lot of work. So we're going to be seeing both of those guys, of course, back on those mains, as that's really what's been kind of working for him. And Zen now back over onto the Mei. We did see some pretty decent synergy there, as they were able to find kills on both Super and Goliath on the first wall that we actually saw go up. So this is a really, really great map for Mei on this first point. Even kind of going into the second point as well. Very, very good. We saw it in the last matchup as well, that we saw on Hollywood, but it can kind of, run the clock down, and that's really what you want to do, especially given the fact that the last map was just so close towards the end that if you can kind of take advantage of those kind of things, you might be able to win the map off of just sheer clock wearing down. And that's what the game's about. I mean, being able to do those kind of things when you might or might not be outmatched mechanically.
It's certainly true, and I'm really interested to see if Rob wants to break out the Hanzo, but they've got a few troll picks there. We'll have to see what they're actually going to go ahead with in the end. I'm expecting Super to go over to the Reinhardt, take that triple tank comp once again, but maybe train on the Mercy. We'll have to see if that's going to be the case. Nothing too surprising other than that Mei here on the defense. Not really surprising at that, but definitely a good pick here on Hollywood. And Jake going over to the Genji, so nothing too crazy. Once again, coming through here on the side of Bird Noises.
Kind of looking for Mei to get that early wall, already set in position to find those isolations. Actually going to be doing it on the Genji, which is not really what you want to have happen. You kind of want to get those tanks, as they're going to be forcing the team back. They can't actually engage with that. If you find a pick on something like a Genji, he can get back rather quickly, and of course he's going to be able to dodge that pick anyways and try to you know, he's going to be able to get out of that isolation. So
it is
not
a lot
really
to deal with that kind of thing, especially here on Hollywood. A lot of verticality. You can easily climb off the wall and get just safety here, as we just saw from them. They're really, offense really forcing them back right here, and Helix Esports kind of looking to make their move. Not quite sure where they want to go through just yet. As Boss getting chunked down a little low by Jake. Rob's ultimate getting very close to being ready. 83% right now. Gonna have that charge up for the offense very soon. He's at 93%. We see the pin from Boss not gonna connect on anything. Rob is gonna charge him up here and look for something, as Goliath is the last one remaining on the point. Jake gets to safety in the back, but a nice initial hold coming through there from Helix.
Ultimate is charging.
Yeah, it looks like May is going to be able to set up once again here. Spryzen did get that ult up. Rob 420 did use it, but they weren't able to find value in it. So now they're going to be kind of waiting for Jake to get that ultimate to try to lock this one down. They are able to put the wall up to then isolate Super, and it's going to be potentially another kill on... Oh, it's actually going to be Lucio pulling away. So he went over that wall to support, wasn't able to...
You really can't expect to stick around at that point, especially, I mean, Jake, he's in the back line right now with the Dragon Blade. Look at him right now. He's just waiting to come around the corner, get the support. He even waits so low right there for us. And as soon as they're able to get away from the isolation from the May, they're going to look to make the move right here. As Jake is on the point, he's going to break out. The Blizzard actually comes through there, and the Death Blossom as well from Hobbs, and they're going to find a couple kills for himself. Jake just kind of useless, not able to get anything going for himself here as he's waiting for his team to move on to the point.
Yeah, they are trying to just kind of get their ults back up right now. We are going to be seeing Rage with his, and of course Alkia going to be able to run that support. So defensively, those are the two ults that you definitely want to see. Potentially, you also kind of want to see Boss Floss with his, but you know, outside of that, outside of the big combos, those are the big ones. So going to come down to them being able to basically peel for the team and support against this heavy ult aggression that we're going to be seeing on this engagement.
Earth Shatter coming through there from Super. Not going to find anything, though. Graviton Surge out here from Rage. He's behind him. They're looking for something. They already used the Death Blossom in the last fight. Hobbs up to 90% on that one. It's a 1-for-1 here. Jake going to be dropped, though, by Boss Floss. We actually see Rage finding another kill for his team, and they're going to force him back. It's just a Lucio and Zarya in the area. Going to try and skip around here, but not going to be doing a whole lot with that.
Yeah.
1 minute left on the clock here.
And that was 3 huge disappointments in a row. We saw a big whiff coming out from Super's ultimate, and then another coming out from the Ana, who actually nano boosted the Lucio.
As expected, Hobbs just dropping down. Oh my goodness. Great ultimate coming through there from the combo of the Ana and the Reaper, and 39 seconds left on the clock. That's not a lot of time to work with. You got one solid push left. Zen does have the Blizzard, and the Blizzard is really going to hurt them if they try to make a push. And around that corner, that is the perfect place, because there's not a lot of place for them to go, especially if he's able to isolate someone with the wall, too.
Now, this has just been whiffed ult after whiffed ult, and basically no real value coming from the nano boost so far. And we are going to be seeing Zen being able to use that Blizzard right now as they actually wall off that aggressive push coming out from the Roadhog. The whole hog forced into that wall, and now the Blizzard comes out, actually pushing out and zoning.
That actually probably was the best possible scenario you could ask with the Blizzard, given the fact there were multiple corridors to go down through outside of the Blizzard, so they really weren't able to get a whole lot of usage out of that. As we see Zen taken down, it's just Rage and Hobbs not going to be in the area, and they make the push here because they're going to be able to get this checkpoint and have a little bit of time to work with. That Blizzard probably should have been used a little bit earlier, so they didn't have 3 different angles they could have got away from that with.
Yeah, I definitely would have liked to have seen the Blizzard actually used in conjunction with the Zarya ult, just throw it right on top, you know, basically just freeze them out and then find those kills over time. It's an extremely long lockout situation that they're going to have to be forced to contend with. So they are now finding the kill on Vol. They are going to be pushing these guys back a little bit, but so far Helix Esports has done quite a good job despite that last little mishap.
2 minutes on the clock here as Jake's picking him up as he's charged up and going to be able to move forward once again with the payload. I mean, 2 minutes isn't a lot of time to work with here, but if you're Bird Noises and you're finding these picks with Jake, who still has the Death Blossom at this point, should be able to get to safety with the Wraith. He's going to be okay in the end. Actually didn't quite manage to teleport up there. He's going to cancel it out, but he's going to look to drop down below. He doesn't have Rob to work with here, but he does have that Earth Shatter ready to go.
Goliath once again with huge energy in this fight to kind of start up, sitting at 70% now as Train pulls out the sound barrier, and they're looking for kills. 3 found already.
Hobbs made the swap over to the Pharah, trying to get some picks here, but that was unfortunate there on the side of the defense. Helix Esports, I believe it was Elkia. He actually bopped the Reaper right back into his Ana and found the kill for himself mid-Death Blossom, which really actually hurt him in the end. I don't know about the Pharah pick right now, as he actually got hooked out there by Vol and taken down, but able to get 230 to work with for the final checkpoint, and they're doing pretty well given their initial pushes on that point A.
Now they're able to basically come together, and they should be able to push this one forward quite a ways, but with only 2 minutes to work with, I mean, it's going to be rough to get around that corner and through that little archway of the garage. I mean, getting through that garage door is really, really tough, given the positioning that you can get. But look at this. Actually, Zarya going to be going for the Graviton Surge. They're going to be able to find 3 kills inside of it. Super to follow. And it looks like Jake, who did manage to find a kill, is going to be forced to kind of pull out of this one and try not to get picked off. They're looking for him now, and that's going to be Tracer being one of the big ones that's going to be looking for that.
Zen getting caught out a little bit there as we see the Whole Hog come through, and Ball going to be taken out mid-Whole Hog as it's about to wrap up there, and they're still trying to move forward. It's 6 on 5. Can't really afford to push without him at this stage, given the fact they have 130 left. You really want that final really nice good team push. You don't want to have a staggered push by any means, otherwise at this point you're pretty much going to lose it. With that being said, as the pulse bomb connects from Hobbs, takes out Super. I don't know, if you're Bird Noises right now, get a full regroup and hope to make a nice push and maybe one last staggered push should it not go too well for you.
They need to come together now. I mean, with 1 minute left, you only really have one really, really solid fight. The last one's going to be really janky unless you die quick. And that's going to be kind of up to Goliath to make sure that he gets a nice Graviton. He's going to pull it out, find only 2 people inside of it. One of those, of course, being the support member, Lucio, here, and they need to find kills outside of that. Goliath with 100% energy, looking to take out the tanks here, is going to be able to... missing 2 punches in a row.
That's unfortunate for him, and it looks like they're able to make it. 40 seconds still on the clock, so they still have a decent amount of time here to make one final push. Train and Super have their ultimates up. It's going to be in their favor, but Pulse Bomb's ready to go, and Rage very close to having the Graviton Surge. A good Graviton Surge from him right there can wipe the team, as we've seen before. 25 seconds on the clock, trying to get it as far as they can here on this push. Have to see if they're able to get anything done with this. Sound Bear's out here. Earthshatter comes through. There's the Pulse Bomb into the Graviton Surge. Oh my goodness! Gets the quadra kill with it. They're gonna wrap him up right now and just finish this off. Get the kill on the Super. That's gonna be game. 6 seconds on the clock. Trying to get Jake, who gets the reflect. He's able to stay alive. He's finally gonna be taken down by Rage. What a wombo combo from Rage and Hobbs.
Yeah, a lot of that on the back of Zen being able to perform so well with the man. I mean, really, they didn't have much of an answer for that. They just kind of walked in, got isolated, picked off, walked in, got isolated, picked off, and they really didn't kind of do anything to contend with that. I mean, typically what you'll see sometimes is you'll see a Pharah pick come out and used in that nature to be able to, you know, kind of contend with the fact that they're basically just running a full ground game. But really, I mean, you didn't see really kind of any adaptation. They got lucky; they were able to pull that off on the first point, despite the fact that a Blizzard came out as well as a Zarya ult, the Graviton Surge not really lending to any kills as well. So, luckily for them, they were able to get that first point, force the swap from Zen over to the Reaper, so they didn't have to worry about that Mei anymore, and they were able to push it very, very close to that third objective. But
pretty, I mean. Just think about what happened on that initial point A. Helix Esports almost held Bird Noises to not even getting the original point A, and then almost getting to the very end right there. So you have to be pretty satisfied about that push, given the fact that after each checkpoint had about 230 to work with to get to the next checkpoint. So if you're, I mean, you can't be too disappointed about that one. And the real question is, what can Helix Esports get done on offense right now?
Honestly, to me, I feel like if Goliath can do much, I mean, pretty much what Zen was able to accomplish here on the defensive side with this Mei, they might be able to make a first point hold. I mean, Super is, like I said, with his timings on Reinhardt, has done quite well, and if Rob is able to do what he was able to do as well on Dorado, then and finding some really kind of clutch sleep darts, especially on guys like Boss Floss, then they might be able to hold this one out. But Hobbs actually making that Pharah pick that I was talking about to contend with that duo of Goliath and Jake. It's basically going to come down to Rob being able to take Hobbs out of the sky, and that's a lot to ask for an Ana to be able to do.
That certainly is. We'll have to see if Goliath is able to contribute to some of those picks by any means, but that's not going to be his main focus here, as Hobbs, like you said, just pretty much uncontested in the sky. 2 kills coming through right there on the defense, regardless of Super. Cleans him up. Zen finds a kill on the Super, but finally Hobbs going to be dealt with. And pretty much they just left the Pharaoh alone. He wasn't really able to get any crucial picks. Not a whole lot of damage actually came through from him. Got a few hits here and there, but nonetheless they dealt with the ground game, then easily finished off that Pharaoh.
Yeah, the biggest thing is that you want the guys on the ground to be able to stay alive as long as possible. Allow Hobbs on the Pharah to put a lot of pressure onto the backline, maybe find a pick or two, but then as soon as he gets that barrage, it's game on. And he's now sitting at 70% ult charged, and he's going to be able to deal, I mean, really put some immense pressure on these guys. But look at the Reaper positioning, just sitting in stairs. They don't even see him here.
Able to isolate 3 of the guys off the pin, come through there, and they're able to find the kill onto Goliath. The first pickup coming through there, and Hobbs getting dangerously close to the barrage. He's got it ready to go here. He's charged up by Alkia. Earthshatter comes through there. Super looking for something. He's going to be able to find the pin. Gets healed up there. The Resurrect, though, coming through from Alkia. Able to get them all back up into the fight. Barrage comes through. Able to find a kill on the train. Looking for more. Gets another one onto Jake. And Helix Esports cruising forward onto this point A.
Yeah, and this has just been a series of really great hero picks and some really great swaps as well. Hobbs being able to consider the fact that, hey, you know what, our May did really well. We've seen this before. We know that they're going to probably pick another one out as well. So let's just go for the Pharah pick. Let's just try to basically play off of the fact that they're going to go all in on some of these fights. Just go for the Mercy pick as well and then find value in both of those. And it worked out great for them.
They've got 2 additional minutes over from what Bird Noise has actually had there, and that was a questionable late push from Ball and Super. He decided to use the Graviton Surge. He was alone, got absolutely nothing off of it, got taken down. Super came through, got taken down as well. Questionable because he's not going to have that up for quite, a couple of fights here, and still 4 minutes to work with. Helix Esports in a pretty comfortable position.
Yeah, Jake now forced to go over to the McCree to try to deal with that Pharah in the sky now. With the Mercy, I mean, that's still something that is going to be rough for him. It's going to be tough to be able to take him out. He's still going to probably have to be supported by Rob on the Ana to be able to take Pharah completely out, just because of the pocketing that Mercy's going to be able to provide.
Oh, this is really bad. Oh my goodness, that is a perfect setup right on the elevator. They had to have known that Zen was going to just pop right on top of him into the Graviton Surge there. That's unfortunate because for Bird Noises, as he looks virtually uncontested with pushing this payload forward.
Jake now being isolated way behind here is going to be forced. They're going to now be forced to take this 5v6 if they want to contest this point. And that's going to be a tough one to win, especially without someone to deal with the Pharah.
Blizzard's out here looking to get something going. Reinhardt able to get out. No, it looked like he was outside of it. Got frozen up regardless. Got pinned to death. And they're going to make a stand before the second checkpoint. Able to find the kill on the Zen. The Resurrect from Alkia once again gets them all back up into the fight. Boss Floss got taken out immediately following that, though. A little bit of isolation coming through there. Hobbs going to be taken down in the sky. Surprising, put to sleep. He's going to be dropped in a moment's time as well. So they're going to wipe him up once again, despite that crazy big res coming through there from Alkia, but nonetheless trying to make a stand here, and before the second checkpoint, 2:45 on the clock.
And remember what we saw in Dorado. First point basically given up, and then moving forward to that second objective, stopped right before the checkpoint, and then held there for so long. Are we going to be able to see almost literally the exact same thing as what we saw on Dorado here on Hollywood?
That's the real question, because Bird Noises seem to know what they're doing with it and seem so good at making these. Oh man, they're trying to ghost push it. Not going to let it happen though, as we see Ball drop down below. Not going to want that to be how you give up that second checkpoint, given the fact you had such a great team fight. Got the Graviton Surge ready to go, Sound Barrier out as well, but the ult's definitely favoring Zen and company right now as he finds nothing right away. Does get Ball in the end, looking for Lucio. Not quite going to find the pick with the Death Blossom either. And he's just getting chunked down by Super. Gonna find the kill onto him regardless. They should be able to move the payload forward with only ball remaining, if I'm not mistaken, along with Zen. Can they get it going for themselves? They're gonna make a stand. Graviton Surge comes through there. Rage not quite gonna be taken out, but Helix should be able to move forward.
Yeah, unfortunate that they had to use so many of their tools to be able to make this this go through, but they were still able to find that checkpoint. They were able to get some really nice kills, especially on Jake Spryzen, being able to put a ton of damage to him and actually taking him in a duel and actually winning that duel out. Anna versus McCree, which is something you don't typically see too often. So Spryzen again coming up big for his team, and now they have 2 minutes, just about 2 minutes 40 seconds, just over that, to be able to push this objective just to the door. They don't have to get through the door, they have to just get it to the door, and that's going to be probably, honestly, kind of an easy task, or it should be rather, especially now that Spryzen is charged up with his nano boost.
It's 4 ults to 4 ults here, both identical, but the fact that Spryzen, like you said, has his nano boost and Rob at not even close, about halfway there. This is looking pretty good for him. Graviton Surge is out here, so is Deadeye. Can they get anything off it? Hobbs able to pick up 2 kills here. Boss Loss gets hit by Super with the Earth Shatter. Oh my goodness, Super cleans it up for the team as Zen able to find the kills right back onto him. They won it. Hurix, they got it. Ball, the last one remaining. Can he stay alive? He's going to be dropped. Tracer on the point. It's the last one remaining. They've got to make a stand here. Anna and Lucio are back on the point. There's 2 of them remaining. Both teams are now back at it. It looks like Helix should be able to get this. Earth Shatter comes through from Boss Loss. Train going to be taken down there by Zen, looking to finish off the enemy Reaper, and they're going to be able to finish it off and take map number 2. We're heading to Route 66.
Yeah, and another great job from Spryzen getting that sleep dart off on Jake, so we couldn't teleport up to the point there, turning it off for him, and they're going to be able to tie it up, like you said, and going to be moving into that 3rd map. And honestly, this has been pretty impressive so far from Helix Esports, and now going into Route 66, where, I mean, anything kind of goes. We don't really typically see a lot of these teams on here. I expect, you know, maybe... Honestly, I'm kind of curious if we're going to be seeing a little bit of a dive comp happening. We saw before a team try a dive comp actually with 4, and that was, I mean, if we remember, that actually was Bird Noises that tried that Quadra dive comp with ball actually on the Diva as well. So could be interesting if we actually see them try that as well, just jumping onto gas and just trying to run that dive comp once again. Jake on the Genji, and we saw Tracer come out from, I believe, Goliath. So super on the Winston as well. So honestly, I'm kind of curious if we're going to be seeing that, because I believe they're the red team. I believe they're going to be attacking first. So they might try it out again. They might try to see if that might work for them, because getting through that first elbow that right in front of gas station is usually pretty tough for teams, and they kind of just go for the crutch of doing that dive comp, just getting right on top of them, jumping through and kind of scattering these guys out and finding isolated kills is typically the best way that teams have found to kind of deal with that. But we'll have to see, because we are going to be going into Route 66 really soon. But so far, again, Helix Esports coming up big so far, tying this one up and making it 1-1, and a lot, in my opinion, a lot has been basically on the back of Spryzen and Hobbs together for this.
Yeah, and just trying to clear something up here before we get into Route 66 for our 3rd map and final one of the series. Winner going to be moving on into the finals. Still not sure who's going to be on the going to be their opponent in the finals between the Lost Raptor Gaming and Neutronic Esports, but about ready to get going here. First time seeing Route 66 tonight, and probably the last time seeing it tonight, but nonetheless, it should be, honestly, both the first, honestly, Dorado and Hollywood, extremely close games as expected. Really expecting pretty much the same thing here on Route 66. Just waiting on the okay from both teams. Looks like we're ready to go here and get underway with game number 3. Like I said, winner moving on into the finals here. Who are you expecting to take this one? Bird Noises?
Man, I've not really been on point with these teams so far, but I am going to say Bird Noises. Again, just a gut check feeling, and honestly, I haven't seen too much from Helix Esports in terms of basically anything outside of Reaper or those kind of May picks where you just kind of want to slow the pacing of the game down. Once the pacing is picked up, I think that Bird Noises should be able to do much better with that, and it looks like they are kind of doing a semi aggressive dive comp. I mean, Super is on the Diva, Jake's on Genji, but other than that, really no one is going with them. Hobbs going to be on the Soldier. Not really sure where he... Okay, he's actually going back over to the McCree. I was going to say, if you're going with the Soldier pick, you typically want to stay kind of insulated. You want to stay kind of away from the rest of your team, support yourself, and just kind of find that damage, find those picks, and put the pressure on the shield as much as you possibly can.
Ooh, Rage making the change. They're waiting for some last-second thing. Rage maybe on the Winston. Not exactly sure what they're wanting to do here, but nope, he's going to go back into Zarya. So still debating exactly what they want to run, but really it would be interesting to see him change that.
Honestly, like, I just can't imagine a comp without a Zarya at this stage. I mean, with the way that the meta works, just Zarya is so strong, and really there isn't really a comp that works without it. I mean, sometimes you might see a dive comp work with it, but honestly, even Zarya is good with dive comps because you still get value out of that shield, and you still get a little bit of ground control as well, because sure, she's not going to be able to dive, but you are going to be able to get those shields. You are going to be able to have pressure on the floor as well, because anybody that's on the floor is going to have to deal with that team.
Jake trying to poke from afar, as we do see Super get in their face and looking for a little bit of damage onto him. Get poofed off, but Jake oh man, Reaper race out of that one. He's going to go for the health pack, trying to make sure the Reaper doesn't get it. So 1-for-1 now. Super is down and out of the fight, so losing the tank early on, but Bossloss going to be dropped there, and Rob going to be taken out as well. So pretty even fight so far, especially with Spryzen being dropped, but it looks like we should see Helix Esports probably down and out of this fight. Yeah, they're going to be losing multiple members inside the gas station pretty late on in that fight.
Yeah, it looks like Vol is going to be able to get back up, and it is going to be a long spawn, so they might actually go for a contest here given that fact. And they are going to be able to push it now. Rage getting close to having that Zarya ult as well, getting some early energy here as Jake finds a kill. Make it 2, actually.
Graviton Surge came up at the very last second there from Goliath, and they're able to combo it with Jake's Dragon Blade and find the team kill nonetheless. So probably not too happy. You know, they were able to hold it out for a few more seconds, but wasn't the greatest hold by any means. 4 minutes on the clock to get to that next checkpoint. Plenty of time to work with. Pretty solid push right away coming out from Burn Noises.
Our Bird Noise has done quite a good job. Now they're going to have to contend with a huge amount of ult pressure on the defensive side here, although looking at the charge rates here for the attack, Vol very close, Train as well, with the support ult as well, so they're going to have that come out when Rage decides to use the Zarya ult, and they're clumped up, and it comes out.
Let's see if they can get anything off of it, because we see Train with the sound barrier. Oh my goodness, the Earth Shatter from Boss Blossom lands onto all of them right there. They do find 2 kills, but they lose 2 in the process. Lost Zen and their Reinhardt tank. Pulse bombs out here for Hobbs, not able to connect onto anything, and nearly fully charged Rage trying to finish off Vol. Not sure if he's able to get anything done. So many of them are low, but the Dragon Blade's out once again here from Jake, trying to get work done, able to find 2 kills as Super picks up 1 as well. It's just Hobbs remaining, able to get rid of this Pest Tracer, and they should be able to move the payload forward here.
Yeah, Hobbs somehow almost making it out, but actually Rob gonna be the one to find that kill as they push this one forward towards that second objective, and Jake just gonna be trying to sit up high and try to push this a little bit with Super. Actually gonna be knocked down as they actually get the nano boost out as well.
Yeah, and it looks like they're gonna try and play really aggressive. They're trying to get onto it. Primal Rage about to expire, just keeps himself up for the time being, but he's so low as the whole hawk comes through from Vol. Look at the health pool on the side of the attackers. It looks like they will be taking down 4 of them off the board right now. Super and Goliath here. Super trying to get out of this one alive. We'll have to see if he's able to make it. Tries to hop out as Goliath gets himself in a very bad predicament. I think he could have easily made it out of that one, but nonetheless, stays behind, gets caught out, and they're going to be able to make a hold here.
Yeah, it looks like Rage trying to set himself up high as well, and they are going to have a lot of ults to work with once again here. Jake getting kind of close, could potentially use it, charged up with Rob's inside of a Graviton, where we've seen actually a lot of work be done, but it is going to be Rages who comes out first, and that's going to be shielded up, but look at this damage, man.
Pulse Bomb able to connect, not quite going to get anyone off the initial hit, but they were pretty tanky in that fight. Got all 3 of them in the end with Rage's follow-up. And they're able to once again wipe them off the board. Look at the ultimate stacking up here for the offense. So they've got plenty to work with, especially with the Dragon Blade and Rob's charge up ready to go for this next fight.
Ray's just trying to put some damage out early, but looking at this, I mean, Goliath just getting some charge off it, and they have a ton of ults charged up for this one.
They've got the wombo combo with Goliath, Jake, and Rob. He's not going to get charged up immediately, though. He's actually not going to get charged up at all. Regardless, he finds 3 kills. Don't even need it for the time being. And it looks like they're going to charge up Reinhardt. No, it's going to be Vol that actually got charged up there. Hobbs was the last one remaining. He's going to be taken out. And they're going to be able to get this next checkpoint and have a decent amount of time to work with to be able to get to the end.
Yeah, Goliath and Jake once again coming forward as a duo to just put some pressure on this spawn and make sure that they can't actually push forward and try to hold this corner. If they can kind of just push forward and keep these guys at bay, then they can get around this shoulder here, which is kind of a little bit difficult typically if teams have these ults to work with, and they do have them. I mean, look at this, 4 charged up and ready to go. One of those being Anna, of course.
She's looking for the right time. She sees Zen up top. He's going to charge up Zen, and Zen going to drop right down below, get very deep into the back line, finds a couple kills. Only gets one with the initial Death Blossom, but nonetheless, it was the Ana, which is pretty big for him. Rob wasn't even close to having the charge up, but regardless, able to eliminate that healing threat early on, able to get Jake as well in the end, and 1:35 on the clock, looking pretty good for Helix Esports. Another couple of hold, 1 or 2 more holds here should finish the deal.
Yeah, Hobbs and Boss Boss both with the ult set up. Rage could potentially come through. We could see basically a rehashing of what we saw in the last map with Rage coming through with a huge Graviton and coming through with Hobbs' ult as well. They could line that one up.
Oh, nice hook coming through. Vol able to almost finish off the Reinhardt. Got hit with the biotic grenade. He's going to heal himself up. Jake, though, with the Dragon Blade, looking to finish off the Lucio. Does get a couple kills. Finds Boss Floss in the mix as well. Zen able to come through with the pick onto him. It looks like we will see the defense make a stand. Zarya and Roadhog in the back, looking to finish off Vol, who got shielded up by the Zarya. Now they're going to force back Zen into the Wraith. 50 seconds on the clock. There's the Graviton Surge coming through here for the offense. So can they get anything done with it? They're all so low in this fight. Rob has the charge up ready for the final push here. They're going to move the payload forward. 39 seconds on the clock, though, here. Can they make one final stand?
I mean, just from the ult economy alone, they should be able to push this one to the end. They should be able to get this through. They have the ability to do it. Rob 420 stacked up. Not sure who he's going to go on. I would probably do it with Super. It looks like they are going to be putting the charge out right now, and they are going to be able to try to find kills. Boss Floss going to be the first one.
Able to find 2 or 3 kills, looking to finish off the Reaper. Reaper with the Death Blossom was charged up. They're trying to finish off Super. He's so low, getting healed up. Can he finish the deal? As Zen somehow has remained alive throughout the entirety of the fight. Jake comes up with a pick onto him. Finally looking to finish off Hobbs. Gonna be taken out in the end by Rob, though, or rather that was Friesen. And they should be able to finish him off right here. Bird Noise is not gonna be coming up with the finishing touch on the payload, as Helix Esports make a very, very incredible stand at the end, given the fact they were down in ultimates.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, you would have expected Bird Noises to make that one. They had the ultimates charged up. I mean, just based off of the Ana ult alone, they should have been able to make that one work. Just Ana ulting up on the Reinhardt, Super being able to just kind of cleave these guys down. But the way that they separated, the way that Zen was able to get out of that fight, remain elusive for that entire engagement, and just kind of just peeling out until that Ana ult is down, and then find that double or triple kill or whatever it was right at the end before dying was, I mean, of huge value, a tremendous impact for the team to be able to come back up off of their short spawn and get back in there and contest it, hold it there with the Graviton Surge coming out as well. So great job from them to be able to hold that one out. Still, again, very surprising that they were able to do it, but nonetheless, if they make it the whole way, they win now. So this is going to be, this is a lot of pressure now onto Bird Noises to be able to hold them early. And we saw some really, I mean, some glimpses of hope for them, but honestly, with the way that Helix has been playing, I'm actually really surprised with the level of play that we've been seeing so far.
Yeah, this is pretty much do or die for both teams. Winner of this push, or hold if you happen to be Bird Noises. We'll be moving on into the finals to take on Velociraptor Gaming, which should be a terrific matchup no matter who faces off against them. Velociraptor getting second last week to H2K, and really looking forward to seeing that matchup, whoever it may be. But like you said, Helix looking so good on the defense, but I'm really curious to see the initial hold. That will be pretty much the tail, I'd have to say, of this final map. If they're able to make any sort of a stand, is Zen gonna be on the Hanzo, and Hobbs gonna be breaking out the Bastion for the first time today. Have to see if they're gonna be able to push the payload with the Bastion. Not a whole lot you can do to really expect this. We'll have to see if Vol's able to find a hook onto him, but they're gonna be surprised nonetheless as soon as that Bastion comes around the corner.
The unfortunate thing is that he can't actually see, so he had to communicate to his Reinhardt there that, hey man, your hammer is literally right in the way of my face. And they weren't actually able to get some early shield pressure out, so now they're going to be dropped down upon, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to hold this one out unless Hobbs actually isn't even jumped at. But look at him getting healed up by Alkia, keeping him in this fight now.
Oh,
he was in there for quite a long time, but
yeah, he got put to sleep by Rob, and he got finished off. So the Bastion strat gonna end up being a team wipe, and this is exactly what you want if you're Bird Noises. After kind of a meh push initially on Route 66 here, and making a very strong stand there, Hobbs making the swap immediately over to the Pharah. And we do have Elkia. Remember, he is on the Mercy here. We've seen some great resurrects from him. Not a whole lot of follow-up off of the resurrects, especially on Hollywood, but nonetheless, it is great at the positioning of it. And we'll have to see if they can get anything with Hobbs on the Pharah.
yeah, it looks like with Hobbs on this pick, they need to find... Oh, Jake coming through and finding the kill on the low hovering Hobbs on the Pharah.
He cleaned them up, man. Just comes around the corner, blows them to bits. As Hobbs was just, he was basically on the ground at that point, like you said. 2:20 on the clock. You can't be feeling too great about this as Helix Esports, but got another push or two, or several pushes at that, but be very wary of that deadly combo.
Yeah, Hobbs actually getting pressured really hard there by Rob, who's able to put some really nice damage into that Pharah. And now we're looking at Hobbs trying to get a little bit of a flank around, trying to push them off the gas. Actually gets most of them off of that gas station there, which is great. Get that verticality removed, but look at this. Graviton coming out.
Boss able to find a charge right onto the Reinhardt, who peeks his head a little too far. There's the Resurrect coming through from Alkia a little too early because Boss Floss fell immediately after, but the Graviton surge into the autos of the Pharah is too much to deal with right now. Jake is alive. He raced into the back, but they should be able to come up with the checkpoint. And regardless, no, they may make a stand. Are they going to do it? Whoa, the Earth Shatter coming through his super, comes around the corner, gets hit with the Powder Grenade. He's going to be dropped. I'll have to see if they're able to make a stand, though. They're going to try for it, Herix.
Yeah, it looks like the Barrage is going to come out here, and just for those 2 kills, almost killed himself in the process, though, as he was very low altitude right next to that corner of the building, but nonetheless was able to find those kills. And they're moving through rather quickly here. 2.5 minutes left from this checkpoint that they have to work with to get it through to the next one. And honestly, that's not really that much time to work with. Given the fact that, given what we've seen here from Bird Noise's defense on second checkpoints, 2.5 minutes is going to be rough.
It certainly will be, despite kind of a, not a great hold really there by Bird Noises in the latter half of those couple of fights here, but not a whole lot of time to work with if you are Helix Esports. And the whole lot coming through there from Vol. We actually sees a charged up Reaper. Jake trying to get something done for his team. It's 2 kills out here. It's a 3 for 2 actually. Jake comes around the corner, makes it a 3 for 3. He's going to be actually taking out. The Resurrect comes through from Alkia, gets them all back up into the fight. Jake still has the Death Blossom ready to go, but he's not going to be able to get anything done with it, as it looks like it's all Pharah and Zen on the board there, and finding kill after kill, able to knock Jake off the top of the building here. 135 to work with, but they're looking pretty good. And now we see Goliath moving over to the McCree. Has to get something done onto Hobbs.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing about that duel between Goliath and Hobbs there is that in that duel, a lot of pressure is on him, and with Pharah just basically trying to take that isolated kill, Jake actually finding that one, but with him trying to find that kill, he's going to get knocked around by rockets the whole time. Luckily for him, though, it's not going to be a problem as Zan comes through with 3.
It's all Reaper. Jake picks up 2, picks up a 3rd one as well, looking for the Mercy. Zen very, very low. Boss Floss and Zen both going to be taken out here. Hobbs making his way back to the payload, realizes the rest of his teammates got caught out and taken down. Under a minute on the clock here. Helix Esports, they've got to get this checkpoint. Got a lot of ground still to cover and not much time to work with in terms of the entire map here.
what you really want to see is Rob and Goliath coming through and actually finding that early pick on Hobbs, especially now that you do see Hobbs with the barrage. Unfortunately, you don't want to be using too many ultimates to kind of find these kills at this stage, because at any point you could see Elkia just come through and actually res them all up, and then that's going to be a huge problem pushing forward. So
they have to know that Elkia has that resurrect and is around there. We already see Earthshatter coming through. His super finds a kill. So does Rob. Barrage is out here for Hobbs. He's able to find one, finds two, finds three, looking for a fourth one. He's going to be taken out, but the resurrect comes through from Elkia. Gets them all back up into the fight. It's Jake with the death blossom, finds one glide, picks up another. They had to deal with the mercy, and they did the exact opposite. As Elkia saves the day. Graviton Surge, questionable Graviton Surge coming out there. They really could have used that in the next fight. They're going to contest it though as long as they can. It's an overtime. They really can kind of afford to do this given the fact they're not going to have a whole lot of time to work with for the final stretch. It's 1:30 on the clock, Eric's.
Yeah, I definitely like the fact that they tried to contest that, because if they would have won that one out, and I mean, it would have been, like you said, it was in overtime. If they would have won that one out, then they would have been able to win the whole map entirely. So, I mean, really, they are just kind of keeping the timer down to 1:30. They have enough time to then get back over, set up, and all they need to do now is win one more fight. They are very down in ultimates right now, so it's going to be rough. But if they can force this fight early and force some of these ults out, they might be able to get back and take another one.
That's certainly true here. The Graviton Surge comes through there. Hobbs with the barrage, man. He's tearing it up. It's him and Surprise find 2 kills apiece. He's looking for another one, and that's what you're talking about. But look at what they have the charge up still. They still have Zen's ultimate ready to go, so they didn't even use all the ultimates. That's probably their thought process going in. They're going to force a fight. They want to get rid of our ultimates. We need to keep a couple of these for another fight. 30 seconds on the clock. It's coming down to one last team fight. Who's moving into the finals? It's all in this as Zen picks up 2 kills there. Boss Blast with the Earthshatter. This is a charged up Jake. Jake has to get work done right now, but Hobbs is uncontested in the sky. Helix Esports have done it. They're not going to get on the payload in time. They take down Bird Noises, and they're moving into the finals.
Man, unexpected, at least in my mind, unexpected. Helix Esports coming up big with what I assume to be a little bit of an upset, given the fact that, I mean, going into this one with Your Name Here being taken down in a 2-0 fashion, and given what we've seen from Bird Noises, given their history as individual players, I mean, Helix Esports, got to give hats off to those guys, especially guys like Spryz and Zen, Hobbs as well, who have come through, and of course some really, really clutch reses coming out from Elkia in that matchup as well. I mean, that's absolutely insane.
Helix Esports moving into the finals, going to be taking on Velociraptor Gaming, which, they had a little bit of a troubling time with Bird Noises, and to go up against Velociraptor Gaming, that's going to be a whole nother battle for him, to be honest. I mean, any thoughts on that series before we head to a break?
That one's going to be pretty interesting. I'm kind of going to hold my bets off to see what maps we get, because I think that's going to be a major factor in what to anticipate for like a scoreline. So I want to wait until we see what maps are going to be picked. I have a few ideas, but I'm really looking forward to that matchup, because Helix Esports has been running the bottom of the board, and we've seen this time and time again in AGs where someone comes through the bottom section of the bracket and just upsets team after team after team, and really kind of shows up in a big way. So I'm very curious to see how this one's going to turn out for sure.
This should certainly be a great series. It'll only be a few short minute break, guys. Remember, ! Matcherino in Twitch chat. Donate that $1 to the prize pool for free using the coupon code AGOW22. Still have several of those out there to go ahead and use them. We're gonna head to a break. When we're back, it's Helix Esports and Velociraptor Gaming. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to the Academy Gaming Weekly number 22. We are about ready to get into the draft of our final series of the night. Velociraptor Gaming up against Helix Esports, top 2 ranked teams in AG this week. Number 1 up against number 2. Man, I got that right with the seeding this week, Eric's.
Somehow able to pull that one out, but it's moments away from the draft here, and I talked about before how I kind of wanted to stay away from, deciding who I thought was going to win this one, especially given the fact that Helix has come through in a big way so far tonight. But we are getting right underway with this draft, and already Velociraptor just banning out Eichenwald, which we see time and time again. But more more to the point, I guess I'm more curious about what Helix Esports is going to be banning, because what we saw in the last matchup was, I believe, them banning out Kings Row early, so they have an idea of what they think they're good on versus certain teams, and I'm kind of curious to see what direction they want to take it in this time around versus Velociraptor Gaming, given what we saw in the past week, specifically last week with Velociraptor, and the first one going to be banned out is going to be Gibraltar, and then Route 66 to follow from Velociraptor. So curious to see if there's any kind of interesting picks that come out. The big ones, of course, going to be stuff like Hanamura, potentially. Illis is going to be banned out, but I'm kind of curious to see if we're going to be seeing anything weird like a Hanamura or an Anubis map come out just basically out of nowhere.
No, we haven't seen any King of the Hill today. Not whatsoever. So it would kind of be refreshing to see some King of the Hill or something a little bit different than our standard map pool, to be honest. Still do have a couple of those still in the mix with Nepal and Lijiang Tower, but Temple going to be dropped out. That Hanamura is still in the mix right now, but other than that, it's going to be taken out here. So still do have King of the Hill in the mix. Hollywood going to be dropped there as well, so we're going to see at least one of them. Maybe will be the third one, but Nepal taken down there. So we're seeing Dorado, Kings Row, and Lijiang Tower in our map pool here.
Yeah, okay, it is going to be Kings Row and Lijiang that we're definitely going to be seeing. So I believe that's two maps we haven't seen at all today. I don't think we've seen a Kings Row today, have we?
I don't believe we have. So this will be a bit of a refresher to get back to the most notorious map pick of them all in Kings Row here. So it will be Velociraptor Gaming on the defense first up, with Helix Esports pushing on offense here. But it's going to be Kings Row over to Lijiang, over to Dorado should we hit that, and definitely going to be seeing Lijiang. So that's kind of refreshing. And Velociraptor Gaming, if I'm not mistaken, they had some success last week in the finals against H2K on King of the Hill. I'm not sure if they took it, but they definitely took it to H2K in that matter. But about ready to get going here.
Yeah, those were best of 5 run-throughs, and Bowser just wasn't able to really kind of contend with Louis on the Pharah v Pharah matchup. But Hobbs is has been known to be going over to that Pharah, has gone in both series in both maps that we saw Hobbs in. We saw him going over to the Pharah as a kind of a comfort pick. So we'll have to see if Bowser is going to be able to contend this time now with Hobbs, given the fact that it's not Louis this time around. And of course, Valier going to be coming through with the McCree more than likely to see if maybe we can see some value come from that pick, as we weren't able to see really any of those kills come out with those two matchups there when Hobbs picked Farrah the last time.
And there really wasn't anything crazy on the side of Helix Esports other than, a kind of I want to say it's like a standard Mercy pick quite a bit there, maybe a little bit of Pharah. So that's kind of something you got to keep an eye on, and probably watch the last series. And like you said, Valiant on the McCree is pretty deadly, so I'm not sure if that's going to be a really go-to pick for Hobbs, which really could cancel out having a Mercy in the first place. So we'll have to see if that's going to be a thing here, especially on Kings Row.
Yeah, and I'm curious. I mean, certainly we're going to be seeing Zen on the Mei here, on their defensive side for first point defense, but I'm not really sure what to anticipate for Velociraptor for their first point defense here. Obviously, Valiant known for going McCree a lot of times, and we are going to be seeing him go to that McCree, and it looks like Bowser's going to be going over to the Reaper for the defense, but and we're going to be seeing more than likely a Reinhardt as that last pick there. So nothing too out of the ordinary. The big thing that comes to mind is that they aren't running the Mei, which a lot of teams have kind of fell into doing on these first point, like control point type defenses, especially when it's basically you're forced to go through a single choke point or go force yourself into kind of forced to go to a position where you could be very easily zoned out, which is that going up towards that second story there and falling out window. But I mean, honestly, kind of interesting that they're deciding not to do that and just going for the old kind of basically vanilla strat there, Valiant and Bowser. But looking at the attacking side, it doesn't look like they've actually made their picks quite yet. I imagine Spryzen going to be on the Ana. Curious to figure out what Hobbs is going to be on, actually, because we haven't seen him on a Genji yet. So far, we've seen him mostly on both Pharah, Reaper. Well, Kia's going to be on that Lucio. Rage, of course, once again, as well as Boss Foss on their mains. Hobbs going to be going over to the
Potentially
the Hanzo.
That'll be interesting if he wants to maybe just look for an early pick here. Maybe something with Sonic Arrow. We'll have to see if if that's something he wants to go with here. And maybe, yeah, I don't think he's gonna maybe full commit. No, he is gonna full commit to it. All right, we'll have to see how it's gonna pan out for him. I'm really excited to watch Valiant though. He's a very fun McCree to watch, and even though we've only seen him a couple times here, I mean, he's definitely a blast to keep an eye on. Especially already looking for Hobbs. They already got a hit on to him, looking to finish him off there. Not quite gonna get it. Look at Zen right now. Ooh, nice fan the hammer coming through there into the pin as Boss Loss gonna be taken out by the Reinhardt. We just like to call him by his character name. We don't like, yeah, that's about all. Or him. That's what we call him. We call him.
Yeah, despite the success of the flash over on the Reinhardt shield and finding that early pick, they weren't able to get anything afterwards. And then basically just Red Team was able to swarm them almost immediately. Helix Esports just surrounding these guys, scattering about, and then finding kill after kill. And they're going to be able to get this first objective so easily and quick here. And now look at this aggression. Not warranted at all here because they already have that short spawn. They're going to be forced back and probably going to see maybe even another kill as they chase these guys out, but it looks like they are going to be able to get out of there.
This is surprising. I honestly did not expect that great of a push from Helix. It looked pretty promising from Velociraptor early on, but just not able to find an answer just yet. And I'll have to see if they're going to continue this pressure or if we're going to see if we're actually going to see Velociraptor finally put a stop to it. But for the most part, looking pretty good and pretty comfortable with the Hanzo pick as well.
Yeah, it looks like Valiant is actually trying to try to zone them back here behind the shield. Boss Floss gonna be pinned out, and they're gonna find that kill from that ultimate. And now they're looking to try to take on Zarya, who's actually gonna go ahead and use that Graviton Surge. Look at Hobbs coming through though.
Able to find a quad kill with the Dragon Strike right there. Pretty much the notorious combo for the Hanzo. And they're really just gonna have to be paying attention to when that graviton surge comes out. You're gonna have to use your defensive ults, or you know you're done for. Fortunately, didn't have a whole lot to deal with it at the time. Magus does have the graviton surge on the side of the defense. Xander's getting pretty close to having his ultimate ready to go here, but we'll have to see. They are gonna charge up Zen. Graviton surge comes through there from Magus. Can they get anything off of it? It doesn't look like anything comes from that, unfortunately. And they find a couple more kills, and they are playing so aggressively. What is going on right now, Hurix?
Yeah, definitely a weird opening to the fight, as we saw the Reinhardt there from Velociraptor Gaming just pushing through almost haphazardly, just kind of just running straight in. Valiant going to be making the swap late to the Mei here. And they're not going to be able to see this one quite yet, so I'm not sure if they're going to be ready for this wall. But this is the kind of the stage of the map where the wall, I mean, unless you have that blizzard, it's going to be kind of hard to actually find value in it. They need to find an isolated pick off on the side of this this moving payload here, and it doesn't look like they're actually able to find it.
That's a questionable wall there that really accomplished absolutely nothing, but regardless, Bowser able to pick up a triple kill for himself, and they do manage to make ultimate. I'd have to say that's their first real hold coming through there, and now they're just toying around with the Hanzo. Kind of
the big thing there is that they want to pull time away from these guys, and by making sure that the staggered kill happens super late and just force him to run all the way back, they're able to pull like 6 or 7 seconds off for free there, just off of that.
Yeah, that's certainly true. And look, trying to force away the Reinhardt from the rest of the squad is able to get back with him here. 4:30 on the clock. There's the charge coming out from him. He's able to find something with it. But Boss Blast with the Earth Shatter. He actually gets put to sleep by Xanders. They're going to find the easy kill onto him. It's going to be a 1-for-1 as Hobbs picks up the kill on the Magus. But they are pushing him so far out of position right now. Both supports way in the back. They've got no one to help them out here. And they're going to be taken down. And finally, Velociraptor Gaming able to get some sort of security here on defense.
Yeah, and they need to hold now for 4 minutes, and Xanders has been picked off with his ult virtually up. I mean, it is going to be up by the time he's back up off of spawn, but he is going to be able to find that nano boost as soon as he's able to get around the corner. So they still are going to be able to get him in this fight, but it's going to come down to the value that they find from this blizzard. They're not going to be able to do it inside of a Graviton, as Rage actually comes out with his own, with the Dragon Strike coming through as well.
Going to be able to find the Reinhardt there on defense. Only one to really get suckered into it. Try to bring up the Mei wall to get something. Bowser with the Death Blossom. He's only going to be able to help get one as Bandit picks up a couple there, fortunately for him. But regardless, it's going to be, it looks like the defense actually being taken down for the most part. But they're able to make a stand regardless and get off and respawn here. Still have 3 minutes, 15 seconds to work with if you are Helix right now, but you still got a couple ultimates for the next fight. Hobbs making the swap over to the Pharah here.
Yeah, but still, they're going to have to deal with Magus and Valiate with that ultimate combo there. Using the Blizzard inside of that Zarya ult should take a lot of time off the clock there for them if they're able to get a kill off of it. And they are going to be going ahead and using that together. Bossbot's going to say, you know what, I'm out of here. Going to give up his supports in the process, but maybe he's able to find some kills.
Honestly, I don't... As soon as that Graviton Surge comes out, you probably, I don't know, can you really expect a Blizzard off of that, given the fact we haven't seen a Blizzard for quite some time? He used a Sound Barrier, they don't even have that anymore. I mean, they were pretty much doomed for it at that. But regardless, they're still moving forward as Hobbs picks up the kill onto Bowser. Valiant's got to find a pick onto him. There's the Deadeye coming through from Zen. Can he get anything? This could very well be it. I don't even know if they're going to get on the payload in time. No, they're not. Magus doesn't even get there in time. And they're able to come up with 2:21 left to push a second time. Very, very good push coming through there from Helix.
And that's an amazing time to work with too. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, that's enough time to make sure that you get that first point once again. And given what we saw on the first point, I mean, hell, that could make for an overtime second point push as well. So, I mean, definitely a really good starting time for Team Helix Esports here, as they're kind of taking this by storm a little bit here. A little bit unexpected. A lot of over-aggression, in my opinion, coming from the Reinhardt player. And honestly, I don't know, man. It looks like we're going to be seeing kind of a vanilla stack up for defense side, as well as expected. Zen is going to be going over to that Mei. Interested to find out what we're going to see on the attacking side. As we know, Bowser is known for that Genji, as well as Reaper and Pharah, so could be any one of the three, and it is going to be the Genji, and Genji, in my opinion, is his strongest hero. So this is going to kind of line up good for them. Valiant just kind of toying around with a couple of projectile heroes. Of course, we are going to be seeing the Reinhardt there from the first player there with the name of names, you know. But other than that, pretty standard it seems. I imagine Zen is going to get a ton of value out of the wall, much like we saw a couple of times there from Valiate. But I don't know, man. This could very well go in favor of Helix Esports here.
It certainly could, and I gotta say, very unexpected at that. I expected Velociraptor come in here, and Helix to give him a good fight, but I didn't expect him to get honestly, I didn't expect him to finish the map, let alone with 2:21 on the clock still. So they have been proving me wrong nonetheless here today. I mean, against Bird Noises and now against Velociraptor on that, you know, their initial first push here. So I have to see if Velociraptor is able to take it back, and Valiant going to be making a move over to the Winston. See if they're going to be playing this, how aggressive they're really willing to get. And we already see Valley getting hit with the Bowser grenade, just avoiding. He jumped over Boss Blast at the very last second. He's going to be taken down regardless, and 2-3 kills coming through there for Helix. So a very nice stand right away. They don't have to worry about anything here.
Yeah, they're going to push them all the way back. And looking at the ult charges coming off the first fight, look at Spryzen in comparison to Xander's. Look at how much higher he is now. If they do a slow push, Spryzen could very well have his ult charged up completely for the next fight if they decide to take it a little bit slower.
Moved around the corner here. We get some reflect off there. Zen getting damaged a little bit. We'll need time here. We'll have to see. He's going to get that first ultimate charge up. Spryzen has his ready to go. There's the charge from Bosswatch. Both of them charge right into each other. Bowser coming through there with his ultimate. Can he get anything with the Dragon Blade? Fights two for himself. Looking for a third on the Lucio. Able to find it. Looking to finish off the Ana. Gonna get taken down regardless. But Valiant comes through. Looking for something with the Deadeye right out of that. Oh, not quite going to find the kill. But Xander's comes through. And Velociraptor gaining. Pretty much doing exactly what we saw Helix do there. A failed initial push, but then coming out strong from their second one.
Honestly, Valier is actually insane. I think it was something like 7 flick shots in a row that he actually wound up landing in that last fight towards the end, finding those 2 picks. Looks like he's actually going over to the Widow to maybe make a couple of picks alongside Bowser as they get aggressive here and try to find a couple of kills while they're waiting for the payload to come forward a bit. I imagine he's not going to stay on this too long, especially as it goes around the corner. It looks like he's already decided to kind of make that swap, not able to find any kills. So probably but going back over to the McCree now. Xander's does have that ultimate. Of course, on the other side, Spryzen's only at 50%, but they have 4, actually 5 probably charged up, and I imagine it's going to be Rage and Zen that are going to be using theirs first together for this defensive side.
It's going to be deadly, but the first move coming through from Velociraptor, it's going to pay off as Valiant finds a kill on the Boss Floss. Oh my goodness, they're going to be dropped. The Blizzard doing wonders for Zen right there, regardless of being taken out. They're going to find themselves with the team kill, Urix, and make a very nice initial hold before they push to that second checkpoint. And they've got plenty to work with. Like you said, they didn't need to use all their ultimates. They've got Rage, Hobbs, and Boss Floss all ready to go. Spryzen getting pretty close as well, 25% away.
Now Hobbs setting up here. It looks like he can kind of just stay in this area right now, and then he gets Spryzen's ult charged up, which is at 94% and charging up quickly. They should be able to have him drop down on them, and looks like they're trying to get aggressive here. But look at this, he gets taken out of the fight completely by the Reinhardt, who's charged up as well.
That's so unfortunate, but Maggot's gonna come out on top in that duel, and you know, this is Velociraptor. That's exactly what they need. They need their own aggression. They cannot wait for the other team to make the push, and that's exactly what they didn't do right there, and able to come up with a big team fight. Still plenty of ultimates to work with on the defense, but they're looking at giving up the second checkpoint. They're probably going to look to make a stand here. They've got some time to work with to regroup, but not sure if that's going to be the best course of action. They're going to give it up here and look to make a hold down the stretch.
Hobbs is flanking around towards this Reinhardt player, and they don't even see him, although it looks like he's not fully committing because he's not sure where exactly they are. If he can jump behind them, he might be able to get a nasty ult with Spryzen's nano boost here, although they're going to be able to see him rather quickly. I mean, honestly, no one's seen him.
Let's see if they can get anything. Look, 4 ultimates up here on the side of the defense. Only 2 ready to go here for the offense. So ult's clearly favoring defense. This should be a fight in their favor. Zen able to find the pick there onto Valley. That's huge to get rid of that carry. Gonna try and block one of the corridors to get out of this fight. And trying to punch Reinhardt to death. Will come up with the kill and finds another one. Onto Magus right there. 345 to work with right now. That's plenty of time. And honestly, they're kind of on pace to keep up with what Helix did if they get it in the next push or 2.
Yeah, but Helix has a nice setup here on the defensive side here with almost 6 of their ultimates ready to go. And actually, they are going to find a pick. Hobbs finding that kill up on Xanders, who missed the sleep dart on a basically immobile target here. They do know that Hobbs is up there, though, so I imagine, okay, he is going to teleport out to try to reposition, make sure that they don't know where he's going to be coming from. Not sure if they actually heard or saw where he was going, but...
Got 4... almost 5, almost 6 up for both sides, actually. As it's just the supports that aren't ready to go here on the side of Velociraptor. Let's see if that's what they're actually waiting for. They're actually able to put Zen to sleep. Oh, the Earthshatter comes through from Boss Floss. Can they get anything off? Blizzard's out here for Zen as they're trying to pick up a few kills. It's going to be back and forth. But, oh, the isolation on the Magus. He's going to be taken down from the ice wall. And that should be Helix Esports coming out on top in this fight. And at this point, Helix will definitely have more time should the push go in favor here. Should the push eventually go in favor of Velociraptor.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, with 2.5 minutes, they should still be able to push this around the next corner. It's just going to be based off of, you know, how the next 2 fights work out. But we are going to be seeing Xanders getting ready to use that nano boost, and it does come out on side of the Graviton as Hobbs comes through, helicoptering above, and actually gets sleep darted mid-chopper.
Mid-chopper, and I mean, Valley came up with the kill there. And the Reinhardt didn't even have to use his ultimate to be able to find all those kills for his team. Now look at the Bastion strat. Hobbs making his move over to it, and they know it's coming. Bowser with the aggression. They've got to be like, all right, it's coming out here. Graviton Surge, Earthshatter comes through as he's able to find a kill on Elkia. Looking for the other one. Oh, Boss Floss drops down at the last second, the wrong time. Blizzard out once again from Zen. How does this guy even have his ultimate ready to go once again? I don't understand. He is going to be off the payload, and they should be able to secure it. 144. Just slightly slower than Helix, but nonetheless, a pretty solid push from Velociraptor.
It's around 40 seconds difference to work with, but of course both teams are going to be in that stage where they're around 2 minutes to work with to try to get this point under, I mean, basically taken for themselves. But honestly, it's anyone's game at this point. Both teams very kind of lackluster on that first point defense so far. We haven't seen anyone stand out so far in that stage. We are going to be seeing Bowser Actually, on the attacking side here on Pharah, once again, Valiant going to be going for the McCree pick, a little bit vanilla, but it worked out for him last time. Again, finding those like 7 shots in a row. I think 4 or 5 of them were all headshots, especially on Zarya as well. That's really, really impressive. Still looking like they're trying to decide everything out, but from the defensive side, again, very, very standard here from them. Zen going over to the Mei to try to outlast this one a little bit. If they can get that Blizzard ult, then they should be in a very, very good place. Only really going to be probably about 3 pushes allotted to the attacking side, one of those being heavy ult, but it's going to be all about trying to get those up quickly and maybe try to find a pick or 2 early to be able to push this point.
If you're Helix right now, the biggest threat to you is this initial push, to be quite honest. Because of the fact, once that Mei ult is up, like you said, that's going to be the biggest threat to Velociraptor Gaming that they really seem to not have an answer for here. So we'll have to see if they're able to get something with the first push. Bowser on that Pharah, get charged up by Bandit. He's going to go right into the back line, looking for something here. Onto the Ana. He might be able to find a pick. Going to continue to get healed up here as he's trying to find that pick. He just can't quite do it. The whole team is now in the mix. Ooh, does get the kill on his prize in there. Looking for another one to lose. Gets both the supports down and out of the fight. Zen picks him off in the end, but Valley able to come up with a clutch kill as well. It's a 3-on-3 on the point. Who's going to come out on top here?
Yeah, Magus is kind of low that they managed to find the kill on the Reaper. That's a lot of the lethality taken out of this fight here, as Magus is very, very high charge. Rage similarly charged here as they're pushing forward, but members of both teams are being basically are on their way now to this point, as we are going to be seeing some control established from Velociraptor, as we are seeing Helix come in with the Blizzard as well.
This is going to be deadly for them. They're able to get out of it for the most part. Oh my goodness, the barrage into the Graviton Surge as Bowser picks up 4 kills, cleans up house, and they will be capturing this point A. They're going to be looking to push this payload as far as they possibly can. Ultimate still in their favor, just slightly, but that was a game-changing moment there for Bowser and Magus.
Yeah, the good thing for them is that the pace at which they caught this point is going to allow them to now push the objective forward and allow for them to push now with overtime. So they are going to be able to get some distance out of this. It's going to come down to Helix Esports to come forward and try to push this defensively very far forward. They're going to have to be a little bit aggressive here, I think, with Spryzen and Rage both having their ult, but it's going to be tough for them because they don't have the ults to back up the Resurrect that's going to come afterwards.
There's the Graviton Surge coming through, the Deadeye's out here. Oh, he gets hit by the Earth Shatter from Boss Boss. The Resurrect comes through though, able to get them all back up. But Bandit, Valley both taken out in the process. Xander's gonna be taken down. They're cleaning them up. They don't need ultimates to win this fight. And it's only Bowser remaining. He's gonna be dropped. Regardless, you have to be satisfied with a point A push, but got to give a little bit more time to the enemy team here. This is going to be a hard hold. We'll have to see what they're going to choose to pick here. And if they want to go with a... I'm curious to see if they're going to break out the Mei as well.
Yeah, we saw it last time, I believe. Oh, no, they didn't bring it out last time. We saw them go with this exact composition with Valiate and Bowser taking up McCree and Reaper respectively. And we are going to be seeing, it looks like... I'm curious to see if Hobbs is going to be bringing out the Pharah as well, as we saw Bowser get a lot of value out of it. And their picks, but it looks like maybe we're going to be seeing him on Roadhog instead. Not really sure. We'll have to see, as 40 seconds is a lot of time for them to change their minds. But again, like you were saying, 221 to work with. That's a decent amount of time given what we've seen on this first point. Again, both teams have been pretty quick to be able to break these defenses down structurally and just kind of take them bit by bit and get these first points very, very fast. But it's going to be tough still because, I mean, 221 ultimately isn't really a lot of time to work with. It just kind of feels like a lot given what we've seen between these two teams on first point so far.
I have to see what they can make of this time, and we're going to be heading to Lijiang next, so a bit of a change up from the rest of today's maps. So we'll have to see who's going to be going up 1-0. Hitting the biotic grenade right away there from downtown by Xanders. And Zen looking for, oh, not quite able to get the mid-air snipe, but I have to see. This is a risky pick. I think going for the Widowmaker, very risky here, given the fact that you don't have much time to work with. This isn't your standard comp, to be quite honest. I'm really curious to see what he makes of this.
Yeah, they're going to have to find a pick quick here as Valiant is going to approach. They didn't actually land the flash over, but they still find the flash nonetheless onto that Reinhardt. Last time they broke down with the scatter that actually followed, but they're finding kill after kill nonetheless.
Xanders wins the war of the snipers, and that is huge for them moving forward. But two die in the back here, and he's trying to heal from afar. Both the supports are up right now. Oh my goodness, Zen making the swap over to the Lucio. This is, he's able to get the sleep dart. What do you do right now as Velociraptor?
I mean, you can't take the duel against Tracer as an Ana unless you get extremely lucky or you just land the nicest left mouse clicks of your entire life. We are seeing some aggression forward coming through, and nano boost on the Reinhardt. They might be able to break this one up.
They have to make this work right now. Earthshatter's ready to go and then get 2 kills. An Earthshatter onto Hobbs alone seems to suffice. They get another one, and man, oh man, they got 2 of the 3 ticks, which is crucial. But regardless, they don't, the Fire Strike finishes them off. Regardless, they don't make the stand. Under a minute remaining on the clock. This is dangerous territory if you're Helix.
Yeah, and Magus and Bowser might be able to come through. Their ult's very, very close to being charged up, but they're going to have to deal with that Lucio sound barrier from Elkia to be able to pump those guys down inside of the Graviton. Of course, Rage Zen also have their ults ready to go. Hobbs very close as well.
Look at Bowser! Oh my goodness! They don't see him! The Graviton surges out. He's going for it. Sound barrier came through. He finds 1 kill, finds another one, looking to finish off the Zarya. And Bowser may have just done it, but they lose multiple guys in the process. Boss Blast able to clean up shop. He's going to be taken down. Wraith form is active here, trying to pick up the health pack. Zen finishes him off, and they manage to get the point. 15 seconds left on the clock. It's going to overtime. One final team fight is what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, and it looks like they're already kind of setting up, and they're going to have to deal with Zen. If Zen can find a support pick right now, then they're going to be able to push this one forward, I think. But look at this. Already the Reinhardt has sniffed him out, and they are trying to put some pressure on him to force him back so that they can contest this one. Xanders has that nano boost ready to go, and they might be able to use it on the Reinhardt once again, who does have his Earth Shatter as well for them to be able to contest this, and they need to do it soon.
They do. They're actually going to charge up the Reaver. Earth Shatter hits 3 of them. That should do it right now. They're going to charge up Boss Blast, though. He got his ultimate up in time. The charge not going to land. He lands his Earth Shatter, finds the kill there. Can he get anything done? He's not on the payload. They do manage to get Tracer on the payload. It's a 2-on-2. Zen's back in the fight here. They've got to get something done. Zen finds the kill with the Pulse Bomb, trying to finish off the Lucio. He's taken down. They've done it. Helix Esports taking down Velociraptor on Kings Row.
Yeah, Zen coming through in the clutch twice in a row there to hold on, and that's exactly what we saw the first time around as well, with them basically just getting pressured so early. Valiate finding a ton of pressure onto Boss Floss early, and then still somehow they're able to come back in these fights as they scatter, find the isolated 1v1s, and win those duels almost every single time, and then push it forward as a team as they get their respawns off of those short spawns. But over and over again, this seems like what we've been seeing here. And look at this Dragon Strike combo inside of the Graviton Surge. This is basically what allowed them, and we saw this I think twice actually, this is what allowed them to push it forward and have the opportunity to actually take it 5-4. But man, what a close series from these guys so far. And honestly, Spryzen coming through big, Hobbs coming through big, Zen coming through big. I mean, these guys are playing out of their minds right now.
You gotta be kicking yourself if you're Velociraptor Gaming.
Absolutely.
After a great, fantastic hold at the end there on the point A. Unfortunately for them, I mean, Helix Esports pulling a game up, and that is huge moving forward here as we're going to be heading to Lijiang Tower next, and Lijiang Tower, that's going to be interesting to see. I mean, a very close finals already, as expected here. Really looking forward to the best 5 here on Lijiang.
The thing that gets me, the thing that I think I would be most frustrated with is if they go back and watch this VOD, they're going to be seeing how much that they really kind of threw those fights, and honestly, in the process, kind of threw the game entirely, because really they got completely broken down every single time that they were like starting to win a fight. Even that last one, they opened up. We saw the 3-man Earth Shatter. We saw the nano boosted Reaper go in. They should have been able to clean it completely up. There was no res that was like basically kind of functioning as a momentum shifter. Really, they just gave the fights up. They would just kind of go for these weird little duels. They would get pulled away from the fight instead of taking and putting pressure down onto single targets and really kind of finding those isolated picks. They were just kind of being spread out, taking 1v1s, maybe losing them, maybe not getting a kill, and being scattered and not coming together as a team to make sure that they win these fights together as a squad. And because of that, they were broken down on 3 different very, very pivotal occasions, twice on the first point and then one right after in that last section of the overtime there, right underneath that archway after the first point hold, where really, if they're going to be looking at this VOD, if they wind up losing this series, or even if they win it, they should be looking back at this to see what happened. Those are the 3 sections that I think that they should really, really look at, because they should have been winning both of those fights, and they really kind of just got broken down, and Boss Floss came up big, and almost, I actually think it was all 3 of those. Boss Floss came up big. Or no, it wasn't, because Boss Floss got picked up too. So then the last one, Boss Floss came through, and before that, it was, I believe, Rage coming through on the Zarya as well. So they really need to look at how that kind of happened if they want to, be able to win these maps out. Like, honestly, they kind of should, at least in my opinion, given what we've seen outside of those 3 separate occasions.
All right, well, it's going to have to be Velociraptor coming up with this one on Li Zhang if they want to move to that game number 3 on Dorado. And we get to see Hobbs and Valiant both on the Tracer. Valiant, we've seen him on the Tracer, saw him last week on it. Very exciting to see these guys breaking it out. Have to see who's going to be coming out on top of the picks. He's already in the back line looking for Spreezen here. And not quite going to be able to find the kill, though. Bandit does get the kill on Elkia. That's a nice pickup right away coming out here for Velociraptor. At that point will unlock, and Valiant pretty much just uncontested right now. We are going to see the Reinhardt pick off Boss Loss as well, so 2 picks going in their favor right now. They should be able to come up with kill onto Hobbs in just a moment and take this first checkpoint.
Hobbs was eliminated here. Valiant finding a ton of damage onto Rage. They do find that pickup as well, and they need to take out this Reaper before he puts any more damage in, as these guys are coming back up off of a respawn, but looks like they are going to be able to clean this one up.
We'll be coming up with the first points here. We do have that sound barrier all ready to go for Bandit. Elkia only at 58% here. Valiant with the pulse bomb charged up as well, so they're looking good in terms of ultimate economy right now for this next team fight. We'll have to see what angle Boss Floss and company kind of want to go through, and looks like they're going through just the main way right now. They're actually going to get charged up onto Bowser, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it's going to be the Reinhardt. Boss Floss taken down along with Zen as Bowser picks up a couple kills. Doesn't even need to use the Death Blossom to get the job done.
My ultimate is charging.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to be cleaning it up once again. Spreezen does have his ultimate charged up. Xander's did just use his, and Xander's almost taken down here. Definitely close as he's able to get that heal. And they're going to be able to set up once again. Valiant does have that ultimate. Hobbs getting very close to his as well, though. And we are going to be seeing Xander's versus Hobbs in an isolated 1v1 as Valiant comes over to support.
He's looking for the kill. He's able to hop over there. Earthshatter comes through there. Sound Barrier out here as well. And there's the pulse bomb coming through from Valiant. Not able to find a kill, though. They will find 3 kills for themselves. And it looks like Velociraptor once again maintaining control of the point up to 60%. Able to find the finishing blow onto Spreezen there with the fire strike coming through from the Reinhardt. And they are looking very good on this first point.
Yeah, I think it's definitely good for them that they have a King of the Hill here. I think that they definitely feel like the stronger team in that regard in terms of just mechanical ability and their ability to actually win these team fights and come together and have that kind of level of coordination. It seems like for the most part they win those more often than not, but
Graviton Surge out here. Hobbs able to connect with the pulse bomb. Not going to find a whole lot, but Rage and Zen going to follow up. Man, the Winston coming through from Boss Floss, really able to take care of Valiant. Or at least zone him out for the most part. He's not even close here, and they're going to be able to find their first points on this first checkpoint. 95% to nothing right now. A bit of an uphill battle, but nonetheless, finally finding some success.
Yeah, at this point, it really kind of comes down to Velociraptor Gaming to make sure that they get their ults, and they really only have to, as we know, win one fight to be able to lock this one down. They really need to just kind of push for control and then make sure that they get a couple of ults charged up and ready to go, and then just win that fight and just control it until they actually get the victory.
They do have the favorable or ults ready to go here. We'll have to see if Valiant's able to connect onto anything when that Graviton Surge comes through there. Sound barrier as well, and he's going to bring it out there right into the support. Able to pick up 2 with the help of Magus. That's pretty big for him. A somewhat unnecessary sound barrier coming through there from Bandit, but you know, it's almost the end of the map. Might as well do what you can at this point to be able to finish it off for yourself. So it was going to work out for him as Zen so close to being taken down. He will be dropped in the end. They should be able to get the remaining 5% here without a problem. As Lucio tries to get there, it's not going to be the case. So, oh, he does! He gets charged up. Winston's also in the area. He's going to be actually the one charged up. Gets onto the point, pops the Primal Rage. This is the last-ditch effort to be able to get the point back in your favor here, and it doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
They are going to be able to keep siphoning people back onto this point. Valiant actually does get taken out there by Zen, who's still here trying to contest. Bowser should be able to find this kill rather quickly, though, and they're just finding kill after kill. That should be it. As overtime ticks down, they take it 1-0.
Very impressive Tracer play from Valiant. I have to credit that guy. An absolute monster on that point, first point there. And really looking forward to seeing him on the rest of it throughout the remainder maps here on Lee Zhang. We'll have to see if they're able to deal with it. Zen making the swap over to the Genji. And Boss Floss on the Winston. I really like the Winston pick coming out from Boss Floss. He's pretty good at the Winston from what we've seen in the past, and really think he can deal with Valiant for the most part.
Yeah, I definitely want to have that. Honestly, if I was on the side of Velociraptor, I'd be thinking about a Winston myself, but given the fact that Zen was on that Genji, they don't know that he's going over to the McCree now, so I would be considering it personally, but they were winning with the Reinhardt nonetheless. Reinhardt, of course, still pretty decent against the Genji. If he does go up close, he just starts swinging the hammer, he's forced to kind of be zoned out, be pushed away as well, and they're going to now open up with Valiant just jumping on these tanks early here.
Zen's trying to deal with him from afar. He knows he's around the corner. Trying to finish him, not quite going to land the flashbang though, as he's able to recall back and just trying to get rid of that Tracer. Such a pest. They're going to start to move to the point though, and he knows the Tracer's right behind him. Has to deal with it. Oh, he does manage to find it. He hides around the corner there, hits him with the flashbang, able to get the headshot as well. Able to deal with the Tracer finally. Now Hobbs has his ultimate ready to go here, able to find nothing onto it as Bowser comes up with a kill. They are going to charge up Boss Floss. He's got his ult ready to go, and they should be able to take this first point here, X.
Yeah, it looks like Magus trying to find kills nonetheless, though, and it looks like he is going to be taken out there, and only Bowser is left on this point, and he's not going to be able to contest it for too long as he gets picked off as well. And now we're going to be seeing, actually, Elix Esports coming through with the first take of the objective here. And if they win this one out and win 2 more after, that's going to be it. That'll be 2-0, so on the line for these guys.
Ultimate's really stacking up in favor of Velociraptor right now, but Rage, oh, Graviton Surge comes through there. There's a Graviton Surge from Rage immediately as it comes up. He's trying to attack him from behind. Oh, man, his kills on both sides here. It's just Bowser, Magus, Valiant remaining here. It's a 3-on-2 as Rage gonna get so low. He's gonna be dropped by Valiant, and it looks like Velociraptor gonna be able to come up with their first points of this second check. I'll have to see if they can really maintain it. I mean, 31%, no Boss Loss on the point, or excuse me, Hobbs on the point. He's gonna be dropped. 33%, not a whole lot to work with here.
Definitely good early fight there, but definitely being broken down in that second engagement. But Boss Loss does have his ultimate still. Of course, the other Reinhardt does as well. And look at this, already getting pressured down, and that is actually going to be Valiant killing himself on his own pulse bomb there. That's
unfortunate for him. Nice pin coming through from Reinhardt here on the side of Velociraptor, but he's going to be dropped as we see Zen coming around the corner. Boss Loss actually charged up there by Surprising. Can he get anything off it? Doesn't even really need to in the end. The rest of his team's able to clean up shop. It's Surprising finding a couple kills for himself, and they're going to get the point back in the favor. So this one a little bit closer than that first point.
Yeah, now they need to kind of hold forward a little bit. Looks like we are going to be seeing them go high side. We are seeing actually Valiate go lower and try to take a little bit of a flanking route. And now they're going actually through the original archway here, and they're going to get pressured by Boss Loss in the process.
Hobbs does have the pulse bomb at the ready. Not anything to really combo with it. Rage, 85% towards his ultimate right there. They're actually going to be able to charge up. If I'm not mistaken, it was Bowser right there. He's able to find 2 kills for himself. Looking for a third. Rage going to be dropped, and now going to be able to finish off Alkia. Gets some knockback, but they should be able to follow up with the kill there. Will be able to stagger him just a little bit here, and they're going to take the point back now. Down about 30%, 40% here, and look to even this one up and take the lead.
My ultimate is charging.
This has just been back and forth all night between these guys so far, and interestingly enough, Night Market is kind of one of those maps where it really lends to the back and forth that we've seen all night from these guys for sure.
Oh my goodness, you just saw what happened right there as Bowser able to clean it up with the Reinhardt. Thanks to Magus's Graviton Surge coming through there. And they're going to be able to take the lead here on this second point. And probably another team fight, maybe 2 at max, depending upon how long this next one is actually going to be. There's Graviton Surge coming through there for Rage. Not a whole lot to put that Pulse Bomb on top of Magus. Going to be able to take the bulk of it to the face. Not even going to get close to dropping, but now Hobbs sticking on top and trying to finish him off. He's so low, able to get 1 kill. Looking for the second, gets Bandit. Hobbs a beast right now, looking to finish off the Reaper, as well as that Ana. Going to be able to find the kill onto Xander's right here, and they should be able to take this point back. No, it's just Hobbs remaining here as his teammate going to be taken down. He's cleaning it up right now. He might be able to finish up the Reinhardt. Hobbs is on fire, Urix.
That is now at 99% though. I'm curious to see if they're going to be able to hold this one out. Hobbs does have that Pulse Bomb. They have a ton of ults actually charged up. Xander's with the Nano Boost going to be up against Ryzen's actually. And they're looking to get on the point very quickly. I mean, with 83%, you have to kind of push this. You're forced to, and they know that. So defensively, they do kind of have a little bit of an advantage because you know where they're going.
They're going to charge up Bowser as he's trying to get something down. He's going to get hit solely by that Earth Shatter. Going to be able to wraith out of that one. Now they're going to charge up Boss Floss here on the other side, looking for something onto Magus. Can he get any kills? Doesn't look like just yet. Oh my goodness, they get the sneak cap as they continue to take it up. No one from Velociraptor even on the point. That's unfortunate because they had guys ready to go.
Yeah, and that was a very unfortunate loss there, like you were saying, for Velociraptor. But going into this next one, it's a little bit tighter quarters here, and it's going to come down to if Valiant's going to be able to kind of contend with Hobbs, who's basically, as we saw, just been ripping this team apart here on Tracer. And Hobbs has come through in a major way so far in this tournament. Just kind of at the latest, it is on the Tracer. We are seeing Valiant going to be going ahead for that mirror, so both teams running the exact same composition this time around, going onto this control center map.
Saw Valiant up against Hobbs in the Tracer v Tracer before, and he seemed to be the one with the upper hand. I'll have to see if that's going to be the case here, as winner goes up on Li Zhang 2-1 with a victory right now. And we already see Valiant in the backline looking for the Ana. We can poke down some Lucio as well. We are going to see Boss Loss come up with the kill there onto Bowser. The other Reinhardt going to be able to take down Spreeze, and now Hobbs finds a kill for himself. Oh man, Valiant unloading onto Hobbs, able to find it for himself. He's uncontested, but nonetheless, it looks like Velociraptor going to be forced back right now. And we're going to see the first points maybe going in favor of Helix right now, but Valiant somehow is still alive on this point, finally being dealt with.
Yeah, if he would have went for an ultimate on that shield, given the larger hitbox, would have probably actually landed on the stick at the latter end when the shield falls off. Might have been able to find a kill, maybe even 2 if they were kind of grouped up, which they were for the most part. And maybe would have been able to kind of hold on to that a little bit longer for his team to get in there and support him, but did die off. Zen already finding the kill on the Reaper duel there, forcing these guys back. They're going to have to take a little bit more of a breather before they actually go in.
And they're going to really be forced back right now. It's going to give a pretty big advantage to Helix right now, looking to get a little bit more than that 33% they had in their initial hold on that second point here. And Hobbs and Ilkia both with their ultimates. Valiant and Xander's ready to go as well, and Valiant's on the point right now. He's ghosting this, and they don't see him right now. He's gonna probably, does he want to pick this up right now? Oh no, he's not gonna be able to. He's gonna go in. Look at the mess right here. He hops right into the Pulse Bomb, and Hobbs connects, gets the huge team wipe right now. That was a massive misplay coming through there by Valiant and the rest of the team to even get caught in that position.
Yeah, and he didn't have anything to kind of contest that point with a little bit there. They should be able to find that kill on Boss Fight, but Zen coming up huge.
Zen with the massive wombo, and this is all Helix right now. They are destroying Velociraptor in this third point. And honestly, at where they're defending right now, they're just making them look like fools. And we're gonna finally see some aggression come through here from Velociraptor as Valiant's asleep in the back, gets unloaded upon by Hobbs, and they're gonna clean him up again, Urix. What is going on?
Yeah, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get over to the point in time. They have Valiate with the first res, and he's got 9 seconds here to make it back over to the point with Hobbs and the Reaper. That's Zen there on the Reaper to be able to kind of push this one, and he's out of teleports. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make it to the point.
Oh my goodness, they don't get there in time, and Helix goes up 2-1 after everything. 1 point away from taking the series and taking the AG Weekly number 22 after just incredible play in the end coming through there on the side of Helix.
Yeah, Helix has come up big, but now we're back on the map that we saw Velociraptor take earlier. So this is actually a chance for them to make it tied up at 2-2 and take us into a game 5. Best of 3 here. I don't know, man. At this stage, I mean, Valiate is actually insane. Like, he's been getting so much damage out, but honestly, like, everybody else has just been falling apart around him, it seems, and he's been the only one left kind of to contend these points time and time again.
So many of these are so close. That last one probably the widest margin, to be quite honest, in terms of on King's Row in total, as well as the other points here. And Hobbs gonna go around the backside looking for Xander's, looking for Valiant here, and Valiant gonna kind of catch him around there, gonna be able to know he's there. Boss Floss comes up with the first kill. Rage gonna find one as well. Make it 3 kills coming through there. Magus actually jumps off, unfortunately, or gets popped off. Regardless, you know, it's the end of his life there, and we're gonna see the first points coming through from Helix, and once again, just looking so good here.
Yeah, Hobbs has actually done a much larger job than I think most people think. Is he's forcing Valiant to try to deal with him, and he's just kind of contesting the back line, forcing Valiant to look away from the Reinhardt, because if Valiant's able to look at the Reinhardt, then they're going to be able to get the flashovers, they're going to be able to find those kills, but hasn't worked out for them yet.
Oh man, Valiant's got to do something, but he can't. He's taken down there, and once again, Helix, able to take down Bowser. It's just Xanders and Bandit remaining. Can't afford to lose on at this point, so they're just gonna back up here, nearing that 30% mark, looking unstoppable. Look at the ultimates, almost all 6 ready to go here, and they can use those at any time they want. They can use 2 here, 2 there, wipe them up once, wipe them up the next time, wipe them up a third time, as we saw on the last point here. I'm expecting pretty much similar plan from them right now.
I imagine they're going to be using 3 to 4 of these. I definitely think that we're going to be seeing the support ult come out from Elkia. We did see the combo. Look at this, though. Hobbs coming up big. They get a huge pulse bomb kill as well. Spryzen
with a huge biotic grenade right now. That was massive from him, regardless of being taken out. Now we see the Reinhardt trying to get something done. Oh, the recall coming through there from Hobbs, able to stay alive, trying to deal with Xanders and Valiant both at the same time, able to hop around. Still in this fight right now, ticking up to that 70% mark. Hit with the biotic grenade again on the point. The Reinhardt gonna be dropped here. Oh man, it looks like Boss Floss gets bopped off the map, but Valiant taken down as well. Who's coming out on top? They're continuing to take this point here.
Yeah, as long as this fight is continuing, then they're just collecting free score right now, and it looks like Bowser was nano boosted, but a little bit too soon as he was eliminated there. Zen's going to be able to clean this one up. It looks like if they can push them off, that might be perfect timing for them to find this kill on Xanders and lock this one up as a 3-1.
8 seconds. They need to be as aggressive as possible right now as Hobbs is in the air. Oh, he gets put to sleep. They've got 3 seconds to get on this point. Can they get there in time? It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Helix Esports pulling the 2-0 upset over Velociraptor Gaming after almost losing to Bird Noises in the semifinal matchup, coming through huge here in the finals.
And look at Hobbs, definitely deserving of play of the game here, as he was able to find kill after kill, and not only that, but also pull off some insane plays and also make sure that Valiant isn't able to just freely take out whoever he wants. Valiant was constantly having to turn around and try to deal with Hobbs on that Tracer in this matchup, and that's just a little bit too much to ask for any McCree player, given the fact that you're kind of relying on him to find those core picks as well. But man, Helix Esports coming up big, being able to take it against Velociraptor, who was in the finals last week against H2K, and now it's Velociraptor actually twice in a row making it to the finals, making it all the way. We haven't seen them outside of the finals. We've been seeing these other teams come up as well, but twice in a row making it to the finals, but not able to outlast the opposition once again here. It's going to be Helix Esports. Man, playing out of their minds today, and it's a lot. I have to say a lot on Hobbs for sure, especially in this last map.
It's certainly true, and just incredible play coming through from Helix, taking that one, taking the tournament there, for the first time in their history, especially in the history of AG here, taking that one. Pretty impressive victory. Interested to see how that affects them in the rankings, the Ghost Gamers rankings. But last chance, guys. I just put Match Reno in Twitch chat. Donate $1 to the prize pool for free. Almost all of them are used up, but if you're just joining us, be sure to do that before you head out here. Not a whole lot else to say. Any last words from you before we close this up here?
Yeah, make sure you follow us on Twitter because we do a bunch of Overwatch stuff. Definitely be sure to come back next week for AG number 23. If you have a team, definitely sign up as well. There's a ton of great competition, as you guys saw today, all throughout the bracket. It's just great games all the way around. So if you guys want to come compete, it's a free tournament. Show up, play. It's fun.
We had 26 today. That's it's a lot of teams, which is pretty impressive. And signups are already ready to go for next week. So be sure to head over to the link below here, battlefy.com/academy-gaming. Get in next week's tournament. Other than that, I am starting to upload the VODs of this stuff to YouTube. So check out my YouTube, youtube.com/gamelessstorm. I'm uploading last week should be up tomorrow, and then today's tournament should be up tomorrow, hopefully as well. Maybe the next day, we'll have to see. But thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Shout out as always to Match Reno and Battlefy for their help with the tournament, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.